This is the King James Radio Network, your radio home for North Brunswick Raiders sports, Restoration Place, Timothy Christian Tigers basketball, the Cal Ripken Baseball District Championships, the Ladies of Our Turf football, and the Jersey Basketball Association. Raiders football this season is presented by the North Brunswick Baseball and Softball Association, Route 1 Dental, and the Cal team at Remax Country in Milltown.
This is Christian Petrillo, and you're listening to North Brunswick Raiders football on the King James Radio Network.
And yes, this is our Raiders Live pregame presented by the Cal team at Remax Country on the King James Radio Network. Corbin Thompson here at JamesIsKing.com. We are live here at Edison High School here at the Eagles Nest, where tonight Raiders football resides on the King James Radio Network. As tonight, the North Brunswick Raiders take on the Edison Eagles in a GMC White Division matchup. Both teams come in at 1-1. Edison coming off of a lopsided win over Monroe last week, putting up 51 points in the process and running over 400 yards of offense. So the Eagles almost literally flying high with the performance that they put in last week under head coach Matt Fulham. And that's what North Brunswick has to be careful of tonight. You know, this is an Edison team that was predicted, at least by Marcus Borden, when we talked to him in our pregame back on opening night 2 weeks ago. Edison was one of those teams predicted to be right in the mix in the GMC White Division. So that's what North Brunswick will be up against tonight. Matt Fulham in his 14th season as head coach of the Eagles with a record of 49, 81, and 1. Now, there's been some lean years at Edison, no question about it, but this is not projected to be one of them. As for the Raiders under head coach Mike Sipot, the Raiders come in at 1-1. Mike Sipot 7-5 in his first 12 games as head coach of the Raiders. They come off of a 34-14 loss to Sayreville last week. It was 20-14 in the fourth quarter, but Sayreville pulling away, outscoring the Raiders 14-0 from there. So that's what you see. The Raiders had to regroup and listen. The coaching staff, as far as the Sipots go, Mike Sipot and assistant coach John Sipot, along with Nick Sipot, and the coaching staff, the one area, where they've really been good at, they've been good in a few areas, but one of the areas that they've been good at is quickly regrouping, putting the last game aside, even if it just ended 10 minutes ago, putting that game aside and getting on to the next game. Win, lose, or draw, they've been able to do that and do that very effectively, and thus having some success going with that. So, and we'll get to head coach Mike Sipot here in just a minute in our pregame interview. But, for Edison, and like I said, there were some lean years, and Edison has found its way, could find its way back to prominence this year. And for Edison, they go to Woodbridge next week, so perhaps this might be a hump game, if you will, for the Eagles. The Eagles, they're probably thinking this. We don't want this to be a trap game. They're looking ahead to Woodbridge, who's rebuilding. So I think that's in the mind of Matt Fulham and company. But as far as last year, Edison finished at 3-7. They did beat J.P. Stevens to close out their schedule. They lost a double overtime game to Passaic last year. So I see where Edison has lost a couple of games by a close proximity. So we'll see what the Eagles come out with tonight as we go forward here. But with that being said, I had a chance, of course, to catch up with the head coach of Raiders football, Mike Sipot. And there's Mark Blevins in the house. But thanks to our athletic director, Jeff DeCoco, for allowing us to come down here and do this game tonight. But I had a chance to catch up with the head coach of the Raiders, Mike Sipot, and talk to him a little bit about tonight's game and a little bit about what happened last week against Sayreville as well. And I think, I'm sure it was a disappointment for the Raiders in that this is a game that last week was a game that they were expecting to win. This wasn't one of those let's see what we can do, let's take our chances type of game. This is a game where they thought they could, match up against Sayreville, match up against their speed receivers, their speed guys, their skill position players, and play well, which they did, at various points throughout the course of the game. But, for Sayreville, just too much speed, too many athletes, and with that being said, like I said, too much speed. I was looking at a couple of people that I actually recognize leading the marching band here, the North Brunswick marching band on the opposite side of the field from me, and I was just looking to see two people I wasn't expecting to see tonight. But anyway, as I was saying, too much speed, just too much athleticism, for Sayreville on that night, and you'll hear from head coach Mike Sipot in just a second. But I think for the Raiders, again, quickly regrouping and getting on to game number 3. So with that, I had a chance to catch up with the head coach of Raiders football, Mike Sipot, and again, Coach Sipot in his second season with the Raiders, and so we will talk to him, and we will do that right now.
Here I am with Raiders head football coach Mike Sipot, game number 3 as the Raiders take on Edison here in another GMC White matchup. And so, Coach, I'll throw a couple at you about last week's game, and then I'll transition. In terms of last week's game, was it? And you were right there with them, up into the fourth quarter, but at the end, I remember you mentioned to me, maybe fatigue set in a little bit. Also, along with that, was it just execution that didn't go well, or was it just the scheme that you guys were doing? Or tell me about what ultimately failed you at the end.
To put it in a few words, the defense has to execute what's being called from the sideline. We got to finish our tackles. We got to execute whatever's being called. Offensively, we got to capitalize. Offensively, we get the ball down to 10, we should score every time. And we were hard on the offense this week in terms of that and finishing drives and not getting dumb penalties in big spots. I mean, that was kind of the killer for us. That some of the couple of the 11 penalties that we had, it came back to bite us in the butt. Against a team like Sayreville, you definitely can't do that. You can't back up. You can't have any, mistakes, mental mistakes, because Sayreville kids usually find a way to make you pay. And last Friday they did, and that turned out to be the final result. We lost.
You touched on what I was going to ask you next. I was going to ask you what bothered you the most. Was it the 420 yards that Sayreville got, or was it the 11 penalties, or was it no points in the second half?
The points, but it's hard to pick one. Like the penalties, we got to be a little more focused. We got to, make sure I can't even say we're a fatigued team. We condition every day. We don't miss the conditioning. We hit and run almost every day. So against any team, obviously we're playing an exceptional team in Sayreville, and the 400 yards, I don't get mad at the 400 yards. If it's a W, I don't care if they have 500 yards, as long as we win. They have 409 yards. We're still down by 6 in the fourth quarter. The kids are playing hard. So, and that's the biggest thing, is that I felt like the kids continue to play hard through the fourth quarter, and we're just hoping that we get a chance to maybe face them again.
As far as more of a general thing, I was talking to you about this a minute ago. You were -2 in turnovers against St. Joe's. You win the game. +1 against Sayreville, and you lose. Do you expect that backwards trend to continue?
No, because it's what do you do after that turnover? What do you do after that takeaway? Like, if we get a fumble and we go 3 and out, what good is the takeaway? You know what I'm saying? If we, St. Joe's, we had a fumble, we got on the 1 yard line. Hey, we're going to the half, we're safe. I think it really depends on what you do with that takeaway or turnover. Offensively, if we throw an interception, we fumble the ball, how does our defense respond? That's the biggest thing. It's part of the game. It's going to happen. Hopefully we don't have any tonight, but certainly if you do the ratio of takeaways and winning the game, it's a big percentage of teams that win the turnover battle.
You were telling me before that Sean Berhini, who had to lead the game last week, he's okay. He's fine, but Rami Berberina is not. So anything else on the injury front?
Sean's fine. He's healthy. He's going to start on defense. We'll limit him, offensively and specials-wise. Rami's going to be out for at least maybe 2 or 3 weeks with a MCL sprain. Just something that happened in practice. But, he's in good spirits, and we just want to make sure he's healthy.
In terms of Miles Bailey, 18 carries against St. Joe's and another 18 against Sayreville. Are you comfortable with that number, or do you want to go up to 20, 25? Where are you with Miles?
The idea is 20, whether it's throwing them the ball or running it. But, we have other weapons that we want to use. And sometimes, in football, sometimes a game might change your game plan. Like, we want to do this, we want to do that. But if we're down 14-0, we're not going to say run. Like, we have to try to get back into the game. So sometimes the game plan takes away from those numbers and stats. But, we certainly worked hard this week on, making sure Chris gets carries in the backfield, and, we get Chich on the run, and, obviously getting easy, safe throws, get positive gains with Outlaw to Manny. So, we're doing a good job as a staff trying to figure out how to be productive in the offensive side of the ball.
Now getting to Edison, your opponent, 6 different guys carried the ball for them last week against Monroe. They put up 51 points. They had, they were 274 yards rushing, over 400 similar to Sayreville. Do you do something different based on the opponent, or do you do something different based on what didn't work out last week?
We try to get better as a team. So sometimes we don't necessarily want to look at what Edison did and, oh my God, they did this, they ran that, because we don't know who they're playing. They may not be to what our caliber of football is and what they're doing defensively. I don't know what they're doing. So we have to get better at what we do best. Obviously it just comes back to tackling and blocking and protecting the ball. So we do those 3 things. I think we're going to have a good shot tonight.
Talking with head coach Mike Sipot. 2 more for him. Quarterback Dean Escobar for Edison. He got in the end zone a few times last week. What about him?
He's a big boy. I think he's got pretty precise passing skills. I think in the run game, he's a big guy to take down. So, in some of the schemes that they run, we have to make sure our backside's considering him having the ball, so we have to make sure on that. Passing-wise, we want to get pressure on him, and you're going to see that. We want to make sure we get pressure on the kid, and because he does have a very good arm, very accurate, and he's got a lot of good skill guys he's thrown to.
You're at 1-1, and this game isn't necessarily going to make or break you as far as any division titles or state playoffs or anything like that. So, in your mind, what is this game about?
It's about responding after a loss, responding after adversity. It's been a crazy week here in North Brunswick. So, following a loss, we don't have school, all that stuff. All that stuff is outside distractions. We've been telling the kids, stay focused on the goal. Let's beat Edison. We got to make sure that we do the things at Raider football, what we have been telling the kids since June, and we do that, then we'll take care of business.
Head coach Mike Sipot as the Raiders head on the road to Edison, first away game this year. So, Coach, thank you, and good luck out there.
Thank you.
There you hear from Raiders head football coach Mike Sipot as, again, we get ready for North Brunswick and Edison here on our Raiders Live pregame. Again, Raiders Live pregame presented by the Cal team at Remax Country. My thanks to John and Dina Calandrucio over at Remax Country over on Main Street in Milltown, New Jersey. So you heard Coach Sipot there talking about quarterback Dean Escobar for Edison. He is a senior and talked about how big Escobar was. Escobar goes at 6 foot, 210 pounds. So the Raiders, learning some lessons from last week, are going to have to wrap up. No arm tackles, got to wrap up, and you'll hear from Samad Bailey coming up in a little bit about what the Raiders need to do to make their adjustments from last week. So again, we're here in Edison, New Jersey at the Eagles Nest, and glad you're with us at jamesisking.com. Cloudy day, and so we'll get to the game time temperature before the start of the game, and the North Brunswick Marching Band just finishing up. So what we'll do is we'll take a break, and coming back on our Raider Spotlight will be defensive end Samad Wingo, and we will do that on the other side of the break. This is our Raiders Live pregame. Oh, I forgot. We will have our This Date in Raiders Football History as well, so keep an eye out on that. Really, the first couple of weeks have not produced too much in terms of that, but we'll do what we can. But in any event, we'll take a break here, and we'll come back with Samad Wingo on the other side. This is our Raiders Live pregame presented by the Cal team of Remax Country on the King James Radio Network. Back here on our Raiders Live pregame presented again by the Cal team at Remax Country. Again, my thanks to the Calandrucios, the brother and sister team of John and Dina Calandrucio. So, again, we are here at Edison. The Pop Warner guys being introduced here before the game today. Both teams are now in their respective locker room areas. And so North Brunswick and Edison will get set to go in just about 13 minutes thereabouts. And so we will join you then. I was hoping to have Greg Tafaro on with me at halftime, but I see Greg has other commitments. And that's why he is the Grand High Exalted Mystic ruler of high school sports in Middlesex County, Mr. Greg Tafaro. But hopefully we can get a rain check from Greg and go from there. But in the meantime, I had a chance earlier today to catch up with Samad Wingo, 12.5 sacks a year ago, lining up next to David Straminsky, who had 15 sacks for the Raiders, but Straminsky has since graduated. So really now the mantle gets passed to Samad Wingo, and Wingo is picked up where he left off a year ago on the defensive line. So, of course, had a chance to catch up with him earlier this afternoon. So I will get to my conversation with Samad Wingo here in just a second. But Again, Raiders football on the King James Radio Network, presented by the North Brunswick Baseball and Softball Association at nbbsa.com. My thanks to President Dave Rosenberg, Vice President Dave Kukler for their support, and also Route 1 Dental at 732-940-0222 or rt1dental.com. My thanks to Dr. Trackman, Alex, Tara, all the folks at Route 1 Dental for their support. All right, so earlier today, I caught up with Samad Wingo, defensive end for the Raiders. Here is that conversation right now.
Here with defensive end Samad Wingo as the Raiders get ready to play Edison tonight, 1-1 on the season, both teams, and so the winner goes to 2-1. And so I see Samad's got his golf club out. He's practicing his game. But this year, junior year, what do you have any goals? Any goals for yourself? I know the team wants to make the state playoffs and go further than what you did last year, but anything for yourself as far as sacks or tackles or anything?
To be honest, the only goal I have for sacks is to beat my record from last year. I want to move up in state, try and really improve my game. I want to focus more on reading the run this year, too, because last year I used to just fly upfield, and it would cost us some pretty big runs. I understand that now, so really I'm just working on being more disciplined this year.
What was it, I believe, 15 sacks last year?
I believe so. I thought it was maybe 12. 12? Yeah.
Okay. I don't have it in front of me. But double-digit sack totals for Samad last year. And 1-1, so you're trying to rebound from the Sayreville game. Yeah. You mentioned some of the things you want to do better. What do you feel like you guys could do better from last week?
To be honest, the only thing we really could do better is all 11 heads to the football, because that cost us a couple times, and really look at our angles for our tackles. There was a couple tackles I even gave up that I took a horrible angle on, and that's the reason he got away. Or it could have been an easy tackle for loss, or could have stopped the drive.
In getting to the quarterback, have you found that your techniques are sharper, that you're a little bit more crisp than what you were a year ago?
I believe so, because I'm actually able to read my keys and tell when it's a pass compared to a run, things like that.
Does Coach ever have you drop back into coverage on a certain play, or is it pretty much just pass rush?
Yeah, pretty much is just pass rush. I haven't dropped into any coverages yet.
Okay, you never know.
Yeah,
but
one day.
One day. I was gonna say you want an interception one day.
Yeah, I do. I want to get the house.
Oh, there we go. This is a team that has some high expectations. Tell me about that a little bit, as far as you made the state playoffs last year, and now you want to go further. So tell me about what you guys are thinking as a team.
I'm thinking we're making it all the way to states. No doubt about it. We got the talent. We got the ability. It's nothing to really, we got it. We just have to stay focused and do what we're supposed to do.
Your fellow linemen, Amon Maiden and Angel Gonzalez and those guys, and do you guys, even in practice, maybe just challenge each other, try to make each other better?
Always. Me and Angel always competing. Back to back, no matter what, because he wants to get better and I want to get better. I want to get stronger. He wants to get faster. He's strong. I'm fast. So just put it together.
In trying to stop the run, you mentioned before about stopping the run, and you mentioned about 11 guys getting to the ball. Does it start with you? Does it start with you kind of set that tone for the other guys?
I mean, whoever gets there first sets the tone. That's the whole thing. It might be me. It might be Terrell. It might be Amon. It might be Tyler. It don't matter who it is. As long as all 11 hats get to the ball, that's all that really matters at the end of the day.
Talking with Samad Wingo about tonight, and speaking of tonight, why is winning this game important to this team? State playoffs are still a ways away, and you're probably not thinking about the division right now. So why is winning this game important for you guys?
This game's important because it's going to silence all the haters. Everybody came out in their houses once we lost to Sayreville, talking crazy about us just because we lost one game, even though we beat St. Joe's. To be honest, we need this game because we want to prove that we're better than last year. We don't want to start the season off 2-1 again. 1-2 again. My bad. Right.
What would it mean to make the state playoffs for a second year in a row? It's only happened once in the history of the program where they've made the state playoffs 2 years in a row. What would it mean to you guys to get back there?
mean everything, really. It's expected of us, but it would still mean everything.
Yeah. Samad Wingo pretty much said it there, and I'll let you get back to your swing there. Now, do you play golf a lot or no?
Nah, I just picked it up this year.
Oh, all right. So have you gone out to any courses? Or?
I went with my uncle a couple times.
Do you keep score? Or?
Nah.
No? You probably don't want to at this point.
Not yet.
Not yet. All right. So Samad will work on his golf game, and appreciate the time. Good luck out there tonight.
All right, thank you, sir. Have a good day.
There you hear from Raiders defensive end junior Samad Wingo, and again picking up where he left off last year in the pass rush. North Brunswick will need that. They've got to, Mike Slipot talked about it in our earlier segment, trying to put some pressure on Edison quarterback Dean Escobar, trying to flush him out of the pocket and force him to do some things that he may not necessarily want to do. And as for Christian Petrillo, one of the things last week, starting quarterback for the Raiders, one of the things last week for Petrillo is having the room to do what he does, having the room to either roll out and throw or to take off and run. Those are the two main components of Christian's game. Being able to either, when he doesn't see what he can't find a guy open or whatever, being able to take off and run, especially on third down, being able to take off and run and get big yardage for a first down as the Raiders take the field here, or being able to sit back and get some protection and find time to find an open receiver and throw the football. So I think, and you heard Mike Slipot talk about how tough he was on his offensive, on his offense in general this week, and I'm sure that includes the offensive line and what they have to do. So with that, we'll take one more break. This will conclude our pregame portion as Edison is about to take the field here in just a second. But this will pretty much conclude the pregame portion of our Raiders live coverage. Well, actually, what we'll do is we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll do this date in Raiders football history, and then we'll talk a little bit about the history here between North Brunswick and Edison. So we will break, and we'll come back in just a moment with our Raiders Live pregame presented by the Cal Team at RE/MAX Country on the King James Radio Network.
It's time for this date in Raiders football history as we take a look back at this date in North Brunswick Raiders football. And, of course, today is September the 14th. Now, the Raiders are 0-3 on this date, September the 14th, losing in 2002, 2007, and 2012. With the 2007 game being a 21-9 loss to Edison, their opponents this evening. That is a look at this date in Raiders football history. We'll be back with more of North Brunswick Raiders football on the King James Radio Network.
All right, we come back here to Raiders Live, and we'll have to finish up our pregame. The history between these two teams, the Raiders lead the all-time series 8-6, with the last meeting being in 2015. The Raiders came here and put up 40 points that night behind Eddie Carpenter. It was a career day for Eddie Carpenter. Unfortunately, he ended up breaking his leg in the same game, and that would end his high school football career. But Carpenter was having a career performance on that night, and the Raiders would beat Edison 40-21 3 years ago here. It would give Don Zach his very first win as Raiders head coach. Unfortunately for Coach Zach, he only got 2 more wins after that, but that was the first one 3 years ago here in Edison, 40-21. So, with that being said, that actually broke a 3-game losing streak for the Raiders against Edison, that 2015 game. And, since then it's kind of been streaky. Edison won the first meeting back in 1994. They won 17-13, and then the Raiders won the next meeting. Edison with the next 2. North Brunswick will win the next 3, and so on. And so I think they're going to do a moment of silence here. Yeah, we're going to do a moment of silence here. Yeah, I think we're going to have a moment of silence here for someone that is no longer with us. So we'll honor that.
For Renee Miller. A year ago, Edison High School's family lost a great friend in Renee, and we'd like to take this moment to take a moment of silence in her memory. Thank you very much. Keep trucking.
All right, so with that, we will conclude our Raiders Live pregame. We'll take a break for the national anthem, and then we'll come back with Raiders football in just a moment. This has been our Raiders Live pregame presented by the Cal Team at RE/MAX Country, and it's on the King James Radio Network.
We are the North Brunswick Raiders cheerleaders. It's time for Raiders football on the King James Radio Network.
You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it. That's the great thing about sports. You play to win. And I don't care if you don't have any wins. You go play to win. When you start telling me it doesn't matter, then retire. Get out.
And it's a pleasant Friday evening to one and all, and we welcome you to Edison, New Jersey, here at the Eagles Nest at Edison High School, where tonight Raiders football is on the King James Radio Network. As tonight, the North Brunswick Raiders take on the Edison Eagles in a GMC White Division matchup. North Brunswick comes in at 1-1, and so does Edison. Under head coach Matt Fulham is Edison, and under head coach Mike Sipot are the North Brunswick Raiders. North Brunswick in their road jerseys wearing white with blue letters and gold numbers trimmed in blue pants with the blue helmet and the double gold stripe down the middle, and the player jersey number off to the side. Edison in their red jerseys with the white numbers, red pants, gold helmets with the red insignia going on the side. So the coin toss taking place at midfield right now. Captains Sean Berhini, Miles Bailey, Angel Gonzalez, and Christian Petrillo for the Raiders. And so let's see if I can figure out for Edison. I believe Dean Escobar is out there as one of the captains. So I see that. And then also would be Keegan McGuire out there, Xavier Long, and Anthony Burke as the other three captains. And so again, the coin toss right now is the coin drops. Edison has won the toss. They will defer until the second half. So the Raiders will receive to start the game.
And Edison will defend the north side of the field.
So the Raiders will start from left to right. And so glad you're with us. Our game time temperature is presented by the Weather Channel. Looks like we've got a full house almost on this side of the bleachers here in Edison. But our game time temperature is presented by the Weather Channel. You know, summertime is over. Make no mistake about that. Fall has started to set in a little bit at least. But still a nice day as far as the temperature goes. Cloudy skies and 71 degrees at game time. And so both teams for some last-minute instructions from their coaches. And again, the Raiders will start things off. So again, North Brunswick leads the all-time series 8-6. The Raiders won the last meeting in 2015, a 40-21 win over the Eagles here in Edison, giving Don Zach his first win as head coach in the 2-year run of Coach Zach. Mike Sipot, of course, took over in 2017, and again, he has a record of 8 wins. Check that, 7 wins and 5 losses. Miles Bailey back deep, along with Chris Arnold back there, and also Brandon Outlaw on the far side. So, kicking things off is number 31, Juan Lukumi. And he will line drive it there, going from right to left, picked up by Outlaw over on the far side. And course back towards the middle, spins out of one tackle, but is tackled from behind at the 25-yard line.
Fielded at the 20-yard line.
So, tackle made there for Edison. I have to pull my Edison roster out, which is on the very last page of my notes. Tyler Montford on the tackle.
We didn't get the win, so I'm not doing the top.
So the Raiders will have it. 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. Quarterback Christian Petrillo, a senior. And so he'll hand off here. Now coming around to the near side, crossing the 25, maybe to about the 28 to Miles Bailey. Bailey with a couple of Bailey with a couple of 90-plus yard performances last week or last 2 weeks. Petrillo out of the gun, hands off to Chris Arnold this time, and gets to about the 29. Very short gain for Arnold. Arnold will be spending some time in the backfield for the Raiders here. So ball is at the 29. So we'll call it 3rd and 6. Well, 3rd and 7. 3rd and 7 from the 29. Petrillo will work out of the shotgun this time. Now he'll roll left, throws it left, completes it to Bailey, crosses the 35, first down yardage, just short of the 40.
Number 2, Miles Bailey.
Tackle made by Josiah Velez for Edison. So that'll be a first down. So Bailey catching a pass out of the backfield. Raiders with no huddle. First and 10 from the 39, gain of 10. Petrillo, split backfield out of the shotgun. Bailey to his left, takes the snap, hands off to Arnold. Arnold off tackle left, gets to about the 45, almost broke one. Petrillo, check that, Petrillo kept it. Frankie Vega on the tackle, check that, Petrillo kept it and got it to midfield. Gain of 11 for Chich, it'll be first and 10. So see, that teaches Mark Blevins not to listen to me. First and 10 from the 50. Split backfield. Petrillo out of the gun. Arnold to his right. Brandon Outlaw to the left. Petrillo high snap, pulls it down, hands off to Outlaw. Across the 50, 45. Check that, Bailey.
Number 2, Miles Bailey.
And gets it to the 43. So second down and 3 it will be.
50, Ryan the Gender.
So it will be second down and 3 from the Edison 43. 9:45 to go in the first, no score. Chris Arnold to the right of Petrillo, 4 wide receivers. Petrillo working out of the shotgun, takes the snap, hands off to Arnold. No, keeps it and runs up the middle, breaks the tackle 40 and gets down at the 30-yard line. Good deception from Petrillo there. He kept it. Camille Pryor helping out on the stop for Edison, so a couple of good runs from Petrillo. It will be first and 10 from inside the 30 to 29-yard line. So a gain of 14 for Chich. 9:25 to go in the first. Aaron R. lined up wide to the right. Split backfield again. Arnold to the right. Bailey to the left of Petrillo out of the shotgun. 2 receivers left. Takes the snap. And this time gives to Arnold. Off tackle left, right through the middle. Breaks the tackle 15. Down to the 10. And tackled inside the 10-yard line at about the 6. Camille Pryor on the tackle.
Brought down eventually by number 5, Camille Pryor.
I told you guys last week, Arnold is a beast.
First down and 8. First down goal.
It'll be first down and goal. Looks like about the 7-yard line. Split backfield. Arnold to the right, Bailey to the left, and Arnold seeing more touches tonight. Petrillo takes the snap, hands off to Arnold, tries to get away from a tackle, and does, but gets inside the 5, down to about the 2.
Number 11, Chris Arnold on the handoff.
Tackled by Josiah Velez. It will be second and goal.
To the Eagle 1-yard line, brought down by a host of Eagles.
Second and goal from the 1. So the Raiders quickly down the field here. 8:20 to go here in the first. No score. Again, split backfield for Petrillo. Seems to be working so far. Arnold to the right, Bailey to the left. Petrillo takes the snap. He'll keep it himself. Running right and goes in. Touchdown, North Brunswick Raiders. Christian Petrillo from a yard out. And the Raiders take a 6-0 lead. And so the Raiders, just as they did last week, start the game on a 75-yard drive. Aaron R. will kick the extra point. Petrillo to hold. And spot, Aaron R.'s kick will go up, and it is good. Number 12, Coach. And so, with 8 minutes and 9 seconds left to go in the first quarter, the Raiders lead it by a score of 7-0 here against Edison. Edison will get their first touch. We'll take a break. We'll come back in a moment with Raiders football on the King James Radio Network.
This is Christian Petrillo, and you're listening to North Brunswick Raiders football on the King James Radio Network.
We get set to kick off here with 8 minutes and 9 seconds left to go in the first quarter. 7-0 Raiders. And Velez makes the catch on the kickoff here. He'll bring it back to the 30, 35, has some room, 40, dances out of tackles, 45. Josiah Velez Josiah Smith Velez, to be exact. His name is hyphenated. Has a good run back to the Edison 45-yard line, and that's where the Eagles will start. First and 10. Senior quarterback Dean Escobar at the helm. Escobar threw for 142 yards. He was 8 for 15 last week with a pair of touchdowns. So Escobar with a back to his right. Will work out of the shotgun here. And he'll take the snap, drops back, looking, throws it right side, and dropped. Incomplete.
Escobar's pass incomplete.
Brandon Outlaw on the coverage for the Raiders.
Brandon Outlaw was on the coverage.
Intended for Noah Stansberry, number 11.
Noah Stansberry was the intended receiver.
And it'll be second down and 10. So second and 10 from the 45. So Escobar once again will work out of the shotgun here. Armani Bell is the back to his left. Two receivers right for the Eagles. Now Bell moves to the right. Escobar hands out and takes the snap, makes the handoff to Bell, throws it right and completes it for a first down. That is Pryor, Camille Pryor, making the catch. Miles Bailey on the tackle. So Pryor makes the catch. Brings it to the North Brunswick 37. So that's a gain of 18. First and 10, Eagles. Good catch. Pryor had to leap for that. And then haul it in as Bailey made the tackle. 7:32 to go here in the first. 7-0 Raiders. Coming in motion to the near side is Stansberry, and out of the shotgun, Escobar looks. He'll throw it deep ball, left side end zone, looking for Pryor. Throws it out of bounds, incomplete.
Number 5, Camille Pryor.
On the coverage would be Samir Session on the coverage.
Samir Session on the coverage for the Raiders. 7:21 remaining in the first quarter. Score 7 for North Brunswick, 0 for Edison.
It'll be second and 10
Second and 10.
from the Raider 37-yard line. Two receivers left for the Eagles. Bell, again to the right of Escobar. Edison had 6 different guys run the football last week against Monroe. And now Escobar will take the snap and keep it himself. Goes up the middle and gets it to about the 35 before he is tackled there. Amon Maiden on the stop for North Brunswick. Gets it inside the 35 to about the 34, so you're looking at 3rd and 7. Last week, Escobar ran for 13 yards. We'll get a timeout here. Matt Fulham will call a timeout for the Eagles with 6:55 left to go here in the first quarter. And the Raiders lead it by a score of 7-0. We'll take a quick timeout as well. And we'll come back with Raiders football on the King James Radio Network.
Dana and Lisa here from Our Turf Football to tell you that the Our Turf podcast is up and running.
Did you know that women make up over 45% of all NFL fans and counting? Here at Our Turf, we have our own take on what's happening around the National Football League with special features, previews, reports from our official fan reporters covering each team, and interviews with players and personalities who have the scoop on what's happening. Women are in the know when it comes to football, and it's time the rest of the world knew it too.
Our Turf Football is every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on the King James Radio Network at jamesisking.com.
And Escobar drops back the pass here, throwing a deep ball, looking for his man in the end zone. Looking for Orion Gilliam in the end zone. Incomplete in the left corner.
Pass was incomplete.
And again, Samir Session on the coverage for the Raiders.
By North Brunswick's Samir Session. Brings up a 4th down and 7.
That was on 3rd and 7 from the Raider 34, which brings us to 4th down. The Eagles will go for it here. With 6:49 to go in the first. 7-0 Raiders. Trips to the right for the Eagles. 4 receivers. Escobar out of the shotgun. Bell to his right. And Escobar takes the snap, drops back, looks, and throws it right side and dropped. Incomplete. Intended for Pryor. Camille Pryor had that go in off the hands. I don't think he would have gotten the first down.
From their own 34-yard line.
And so Edison turns it over on downs. The Raiders will take over 1st and 10. So again, glad you're with us at jamesisking.com. You can also look us up on Facebook under King James Radio Network and on Twitter at King James Radio 1. 1st and 10 Raiders from their own 34-yard line with 6:43 to go here in the first quarter. Two receivers right for Christian Petrillo. Miles Bailey to the left of Chich. And Chich will call signals, and out of the shotgun takes the snap and keeps the handoff. Or check that, gives it to Bailey. He waited a long time on a delay there. Gave it to Bailey at the last second, crosses the 40, and is forced out of bounds there.
Number 2 on the carry for the Raiders.
Velez.
By number 2, Josiah Smith-Velez, and number 3, Frankie Vega.
Yeah, Velez and Frank Vega on the stop for the Eagles. So Bailey to the 40. Gain of 6, 2nd and 4. 6:15 remaining in the quarter. Two receivers right. Bailey to the left of Petrillo. Petrillo takes the snap, fakes the handoff, and will try to throw it. Throws it left side and completes it to Manny Herrera, but he dropped the ball. Fumble! And it looks like Edison will have it. So Herrera got hit right after the catch and popped the ball. The ball popped loose. And number 52, Keegan McGuire, comes up with it for Edison. And so the Raiders turn it over. So that'll bring us to 1st and 10 Edison from the North Brunswick 41-yard line. So a golden opportunity here for the Eagles. With very good field position. Two receivers left. And now coming in motion is Stansbury out of the shotgun. Escobar drops back, throws it deep ball over the middle, and gets Pryor going into the end zone. Touchdown, Edison. Check that. That is Orion Gilliam. Orion Gilliam with the catch.
A 41-yard pass.
Right over the middle. So Gilliam with the touchdown. And that makes it 7-6. So Lukumi with the extra point attempt. The snap, the spot, and his kick goes up, and it is good. And with 5 minutes and 50 seconds left to go in the first quarter, the touchdown pass from Dean Escobar to Orion Gilliam. And we are tied at 7 here at the Eagles Nest. We'll break, and we'll come back in just a moment with North Brunswick Raiders football on the King James Radio Network. So Juan Lukumi will kick this off from right to left for the Eagles as we are tied at 7. And again, 3 men back deep for the Raiders here. Bailey, Outlaw back there. It's a squib kick over to the far side where Outlaw will take it. Or check that. Let me see. Yeah, that is Outlaw. Crosses the 30. Down to the 33.
Number 5, Brandon Outlaw. Fielded the kick. Brought down by number 14, Ty Martin.
They'll spot it at the 34 here.
At the Raider 33-yard line.
So it'll be 1st and 10 North Brunswick from the 34 with 5:44 left to go in the first quarter. Tied at 7. Christian Petrillo on a 1-yard run, and then Dean Escobar to Orion Gilliam for 41 yards. Split backfield for the Raiders. Out of the shotgun, Christian Petrillo. Bailey to his left, takes the snap, and hands off to Bailey. He'll come to the near side, cuts it back in, 45, and is tackled at midfield.
Bailey on the carry, brought down by
number 7. Humber. I'm going to go with Gorospi.
Go for a 5-yard gain. 2nd and 5.
Gorospi just sounds cooler. 2nd and 5. Well, they'll got it at the 40. We'll call it a gain of 6. 2nd and 4 from the 40. With 5:15 remaining here in the first. Split backfield. Petrillo with Bailey to his right this time. Out of the gun, hands off to Chris Arnold and takes some men with him to the 44. And tackled by Keegan McGuire.
Check that. First down, Raiders.
And so ball is at the 44, which is good enough on 2nd and 4 for a Raiders first down. So 1st and 10 at the 44. Raiders will change personnel here with 4:50 and counting remaining in the first quarter. Aaron Orr lined up wide to the right. 2 receivers left. Petrillo with Bailey to his right. Will work out of the gun, takes the snap, hands off to Arnold, and nope, kept by Petrillo.
Christian Petrillo, the quarterback keeper, brought down to midfield.
And gets down to midfield.
Liam Doherty.
So Petrillo's done a very good job of deception, keeping that ball and delaying that handoff for as long as possible. They'll move it back to the 48. So gain of 4, 2nd and 6 from the 48. 4.5 left here in the first quarter, and we're tied at 7. This time Chris Arnold alone in the backfield with Petrillo. Petrillo takes the snap, dropping back, looking, now scrambling, running left. McGuire chasing and gets away from him, 50, and tripped up at the Edison 45.
Petrillo keeps it.
Over on the far side.
It's a first down.
Zaki Mix finally brought him down. Number 23 for the Eagles.
From the Edison 45-yard line.
Meanwhile, for Petrillo, a 13-yard gain. So 1st and 10 from the 45. This time, Bailey lining up in the slot to the right. Arnold in the backfield to the left of Petrillo. And Chich will work out of the gun, 1st and 10 from the Edison 45. Takes the snap, hands off to Arnold, off tackle left, 40, 35, and just clipped at the 30. Arnold almost broke one there.
Chris Arnold on the carry for North Brunswick. Good for a Raider first down.
And so inside the 30 for Arnold.
First down to 10 for the Raiders at the Eagles 30-yard line.
Gain of 15, 1st and 10 from the 30. 3:44 left in the first. Trips to the left. Arnold to the right of Petrillo. Aaron R. wide to the right. Petrillo out of the shotgun here. Takes the snap, and he'll fake the handoff. Now looking, throws it over the middle, and completes it to Miles Bailey, but for minimal gain, if any. Bailey on the catch, and Velez on the tackle.
Second down and 10.
No gain.
No gain on the play.
And 2nd and 10. So the Raiders trying to move Bailey around. He hasn't, trying to sometime in the backfield and sometimes, lined up. He's in the backfield here to the right of Petrillo. Arnold to the left. Split backfield. Petrillo will hand off to Bailey. Bailey cuts it back inside, 30 down to about the 25, close to the 20.
Bailey takes the handoff. He's rolled down.
And I believe Mix was on the tackle there too. And there is a flag. So we got a flag down, our first flag of the night, and it's holding against the Raiders. Holding call against North Brunswick.
Holding call against North Brunswick.
2:45 remains in the first. And they'll move it back here. So it'll come back to the Edison 36-yard line. So a net loss of 6. 2nd and 16 now from the 36 with 2:41 remaining in the quarter. Bailey to the left of Petrillo. Chich out of the shotgun, takes the snap, and this time hands off to Bailey, trying to go around the tackle, cuts it back inside, maybe gets a yard or two outside the left hash.
Only good for 2 yards.
And that's about it.
13 for the Raiders with 2:20 remaining in the first quarter.
On the stop for Edison, number 54, Xavier Long. Ball is at the 33, so gain of 3. 3rd and 13 now. So the Raiders will have some decisions to make here. With 1:59 to go in the first, tied at 7. 2 receivers right, Split backfield. And we get a whistle here. Timeout, North Brunswick.
North Brunswick. So first charge timeout of the half.
So the Raiders will call time. I believe Leon Lowry is in the game, wearing number 15 tonight. His home jersey would be 17. Well, we'll break here for the timeout, and we'll come back with Raiders football on the King James Radio Network.
Check out the King James Radio Network on social media by giving us a follow on Facebook. And we're also on Twitter at King James Radio 1.
Third down and 13 for the Raiders from the Edison 33-yard line. 1:46 to go in the first quarter. We are tied at 7. Christian Petrillo will work out of the shotgun after the timeout. Miles Bailey to his right. Chich calling signals, takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Bailey, shovels it to Herrera, but he dropped it. Incomplete pass.
Petrillo's shovel pass is incomplete.
And that was a forward pass, so rendered incomplete, which will bring us to fourth down. One of the signature plays of the offense is that shovel pass. So 4th and 13 from the 33. The Raiders offense has stayed on the field here. So it looks like they will go for it. Petrillo comes back out with Miles Bailey to the left. Check that, Bailey in the slot to the right. Bailey lined up as a receiver. Brandon Outlaw to the left. Fourth down. Petrillo out of the shotgun, takes the snap, dropping back, looking, throws a deep ball, and nobody there. Incomplete.
Petrillo's pass is incomplete.
Threw it about 10 yards past Manny Herrera. Maybe Herrera was supposed to go towards the end zone, I'm not sure. And so the Raiders will turn it over on downs. It will be 1st and 10 for Edison from their own 33-yard line. Edison only needed one play to score on their last drive. Escobar will wait. We get a whistle here. Either it's a delay of game or 12 men on the field, I would imagine. What do we got? It looks like delay of game. I'm sorry. Yes, thank you. Legal substitution. AKA 12 men on the field, yes. I told you, don't listen to me. So that'll be 5 yards. 1st and 15 for the Eagles from the 28. So Escobar out of the shotgun here, takes the snap, and he'll hand off to Gilliam. And Gilliam trying to go to the outside, and is brought down about the 28. Gilliam caught the touchdown pass on Edison's last drive, a 41-yarder. So ball is spotted at the 34. So you're looking at 2nd down and 15. And so back to pass is Escobar, looking, throws it over the middle, completes it to Gilliam, 45, and almost sidestepped the man there. Tackle made by Samir Session. Samir Session on the tackle.
Session on the tackle for the Raiders.
And so ball is at the 47-yard line. That's a gain of 13. 1st down and 10 from the 47. 40 seconds left in the quarter. Escobar out of the shotgun, takes the snap and fakes the handoff. Will go ahead and throw it right to Pryor, but he is wrapped up back there.
Escobar's pass.
Sean Brahini on the tackle.
Complete to number 5, Camille Pryor. Lost a 2 on the play.
And so ball is at the 44.
2nd down and 12 for Edison.
And that will most likely be the final play of the first quarter. And so we will end the quarter tied at 7. And we have played one here at the Eagles Nest in Edison. We'll take a break, and we'll come back with quarter number 2 in just a moment. 7-7 is your score. This is North Brunswick Raiders football, presented by the North Brunswick Baseball and Softball Association and Route 1 Dental on the King James Radio Network. Back to Raiders football on the King James Radio Network. Second quarter tied at 7. Edison has the ball going from left to right on their own 44-yard line. Escobar will work out of the shotgun, coming in motion to the near side is Velez, and Escobar will drop back, throws a deep ball left side. It's going to be intercepted. Intercepted at the Raider 35. Miles Bailey on the interception.
Miles Bailey. First down, Raiders.
So Bailey gets his first interception of the year.
Hey guys, you're gonna curse. Go somewhere else, okay? Since I have a microphone and a.
So Bailey gets it back for the Raiders.
So it's either you stop cursing or you move.
And the Raiders will have it first down and 10 from the 37-yard line. So first and 10 from the 37 with 11:51, 9 seconds gone by here in the second quarter. And again, we're tied at 7. Christian Petrillo will work out of the shotgun. Chris Arnold lined up behind him. Coming in motion is Brandon Outlaw. Takes the snap, hands off to Outlaw, and pitches back to Bailey. Bailey throws it right, and got a man. Is that Petrillo? 50, 40, Petrillo inside the 35.
Double reverse pass from Bailey.
Bailey to Petrillo.
Petrillo. Good for a Raider first down.
So a little bit in the back of the playbook here for the Raiders. It was a handoff to Outlaw, who pitched it back to Bailey, and then Bailey rolling right threw it to Petrillo, and Chich getting big yardage to the Edison 34 for first down. Gain of 29, first and 10 from the 34. Petrillo out of the shotgun. And Bailey to his left. He'll throw it quick to Bailey in the flat. Cuts it back to the middle. 30 and still up and brought down to about the 29.
Complete to Bailey.
Edison claiming it was a fumble, and they've got the ball.
Second down.
Zaki Mix on the tackle.
Second and 7.
Ball spotted at the 29. So call it second and 5 from the 29. So Petrillo with a split backfield out of the gun takes the snap, and he'll go ahead and hand off here. Running right is Bailey, and Mix once again on the tackle. Close to a first down, but let's see where they spot this. It's inside the 25, down to about the 24.
For the Raiders from the Edison.
Looks like the 24.
24-yard line.
And we'll call it 3rd and 1. 10:19 to go here in the second. We're tied at 7. North Brunswick and Edison. Split backfield for Petrillo out of the gun. Takes the snap. Hands off. This is Arnold going up the middle. Has got the first down.
Petrillo's handoff to number 11, Chris Arnold.
Tackled by Frank Vega.
Good for 2 yards. And a North Brunswick first down. Tackle was made by number 3, Frank Vega.
Looks like they got it to the 20. So gain of 4 for Bailey. And so it will be first down and 10 from the 20. Split backfield. Petrillo with Arnold to his left and Bailey to his right. Takes the snap and will hand off to Arnold. Gets a couple of yards
Arnold on the inside
to about the 18. Humber Garospi on the tackle.
Second down and 7 for the Raiders. From the Edison.
So right now,
17-yard line.
The Raiders are alternating back and forth really between Arnold and Bailey on the touches. So Arnold definitely seeing more touches on offense this week than in the previous 2. Arnold to the left of Petrillo on 2nd and 7. Petrillo will go ahead and hand off to Arnold, trying to run around right. Breaks one tackle, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, North Brunswick Raiders. Chris Arnold. Arnold gets his first rushing touchdown as a Raider.
Number 11, Chris Arnold, good from 17 yards out.
And it's now 13-7 North Brunswick. I said it once before, Chris Arnold is a beast. Hard to bring down. Aaron R. will kick the extra point with Petrillo to hold. Snap, spot, R's kick goes up, and it is good. Just to give you an idea, Arnold goes at 6 feet even and 220 pounds. Good luck trying to tackle him by yourself. 9 minutes and 3 seconds to go here in the second quarter. And it's North Brunswick 14, Edison 7. We'll break. We'll come back with Raiders football on the King James Radio Network.
This week at Restoration Place, Just Look at the Evidence by Pastor John Bazemore Jr.
You cannot let people determine where you are in life because you start a little behind. It doesn't matter where you start. How many of you know it's all about where you finish?
Restoration Place, on demand on the King James Radio Network at jamesisking.com.
We come back to Edison here with 9 minutes and 3 seconds to go in the second quarter. Christian Petrillo and Chris Arnold with rushing touchdowns for North Brunswick. And Dean Escobar to Orion Gilliam, the touchdown pass for Edison. 14-7, Raiders lead it. Aaron R. will kick from right to left. Couple of men back deep here for Edison. Pryor is back there along with Velez. It goes over to Pryor's side, but it goes out of bounds.
Pryor's kick goes out of bounds, and there is a flag on the play.
So that will bring it back to the 35-yard line.
Eagles will take over on the 35-yard line.
And Edison will have it 1st and 10. So 9 minutes even here in the second quarter.
First down and 10 from the Eagles 35-yard line with 9 minutes remaining in the half.
Dean Escobar back out. So we'll see what the Raiders defense can do. Let's see. I see Velez lined up wide to the right for the Eagles. Gilliam lined up wide to the left. Vega in the backfield here. Escobar out of the shotgun, takes the snap, hands off, coming in motion is sidestepping a man at the 40 is Velez. I was trying to get Velez out. I almost said Vega. But Velez coming in motion took it and brought it around to the near side of the 40-yard line.
2nd and 5 for Edison from their own 41-yard line.
They'll spot it at the 41. So 6-yard run for Velez. 2nd and 4 from the 41. With 8.5 to go here in the second. Stansbury wide to the right. Gilliam wide to the left. Pryor also lined up wide right. So 2 to the right. Vega to the left of Escobar. Now Pryor in motion. Hand off to Pryor. He'll try to cut it back inside at the 40 and is dumped at the 44. Let's see if I can get the tackle here for the Raiders. Looks like Tyler Jordan on the tackle for North Brunswick. Tyler Jordan, number 20. It'll be 3rd down from the 44. So 3rd and 1 here. Out of the gun. Escobar trying to run it up the middle. Did he get to the first down marker? We'll see where they spot this. And again making the tackle for the Raiders. Tyler Jordan once again made the tackle for the Raiders, but Escobar did get forward progress. And it goes to the 46-yard line.
46-yard line with 7 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the half.
So a gain of 2 on 3rd and 1. 1st and 10 now for Edison from their 46. Escobar out of the shotgun. Coming in motion is Velez. Fakes to Velez on the snap. Throws it left. Completes it. And Gilliam breaks the tackle and he's gone. Orion Gilliam ties it or brings it to within 1. Touchdown Edison. And an extra point will tie the game. Gilliam caught that in between two receivers, broke one tackle, and he was gone.
14, Edison 13.
And so Gilliam found the seam right there and took advantage of it. Lukumi for the extra point. So we'll get the snap. Spot. Kick is up. And it is good. Owen Fogarty on the hold. And so, with 7 minutes exactly to go in the second quarter, we are tied at 14. We'll break. We'll come back with North Brunswick Raiders football on the King James Radio Network.
Listeners of the King James Radio Network can visit the King James Radio Network shop at jamesisking.com and get $10 off of your purchase with no expiration dates and no limits. Right at the top of the homepage is the My Locker icon. Click and customize your own KJRN gear from there, then use the code listed on the website for your discount. Sweaters, t-shirts, hats, bags, and all kinds of apparel to give you the look of a top-notch team or a top-notch individual. Thank you for checking out the KJRN shop at My Locker, only at jamesisking.com.
This broadcast is a production of the King James Radio Network, which is solely intended for the private use of its listening audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this audio transmission without the written permission or consent from the King James Radio Network is strictly prohibited.
We come back to Edison tied at 14. Orion Gilliam with 2 touchdown catch and runs for the Eagles. As Lukumi's kick, this one is a bouncer and goes to one of the up men here and tackled at the 35. And I believe that was Leon Lowry, number 15. He's not on the original roster.
Number 15 for the Raiders.
I believe that is Leon Lowry on the reception. Lowry wears number 17 at home, but number 15 on the road. So the Raiders will have it. 1st and 10 from their own 37-yard line. With 6:55 to go here in the half. Bailey lines up to the left of Petrillo, 2 receivers left. Chich out of the gun, takes the snap, and he'll run and crosses the 35 to the 40. Keegan McGuire on the tackle. So right to the 40 goes Chich. Gain of 3, 2nd and 7 from the 40. As the clock runs, we're coming up on 6.5 to go in the second. This looks like a five wide receiver set. Empty backfield for Petrillo. Trips right. Bailey in motion to the far side. And handoff to Bailey around the edge. And gets to about the 42. Looked like Stansbury. Gorospi and perhaps Stansbury on the tackle. I figure between Gorosp and Gorospi, one of us will have it right. So ball at the 42. It'll be 3rd down and, 3rd and 5. Petrillo working out of the shotgun, takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolling left, looking, throws it downfield, completes it at the 45, now 50, that's Manny Herrera, into the Edison territory, 40, and wrestled out of bounds, near the 30. So big catch for Herrera. Oh, thank you. Yep. Big catch for Herrera. I can always make room for food, believe me. So big catch for Herrera. And the Raiders have a 1st down at the Edison 33-yard line. So that's a gain of 26, 1st and 10 from the 33. Split backfield for Petrillo. Bailey to the left, Arnold to the right. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, tries to keep it, and is tackled. McGuire just grabbing the foot of Petrillo.
In the backfield. Loss of 1 for the Raiders.
So
5 minutes remaining in the half.
Ball is spotted back at the 34. So a loss of 1. It will be 2nd down and 11. And again, tied at 14 with 4:52 to go here in the second quarter. Trips to the right. Chris Arnold to the left of Petrillo. Chich out of the shotgun, and now he'll walk towards the sideline. Looks like he might be calling an audible here. Petrillo takes the snap and fakes the handoff to Arnold. Breaks one tackle, breaks another tackle, and pushes forward and gets across the 30 to the 25. Wrestled down there. Velez on the tackle. And it looks like we got an injured man down for Edison.
Injury on the field for Edison. And then we return the third down and 3.
Injured man down. Number 54, Xavier Long, is the injured man. And so they will check on him with 4:18 to go here in the second. Meanwhile, a 9-yard gain for Petrillo to the 25, which will bring up 3rd and 2. And now Long will jog off gingerly here.
54, Xavier Long.
So 3rd and 2.
Let's recognize our athletic trainer at Edison High School, Tim Root. Everybody give it up for Mr. Root.
3rd and 2 from the 25 with 4:18 remaining in the second. So crucial situation here for North Brunswick. Trying to get a first down. The Raiders do have 2 timeouts remaining, so does Edison. Split backfield for Petrillo, 2 wide to the right. Again, Arnold and Bailey to the left and right of Petrillo. Takes the snap, hands off to Arnold, going around right, and should have the first down at the 21.
Chris Arnold on the carry.
I checked that.
In the backfield by number 23, Zakeem Mix.
Zakeem Mix on the tackle. Let's see if he does have a first down. Yep, okay, he does.
Is good enough, though, for a Raider first down.
They didn't move the chains right away, so I wasn't sure. 1st and 10. Ball is spotted. Ball is spotted at, looks like the 21. So a gain of 4 on 3rd and 2 for Arnold. Petrillo again out of the gun. Bailey to his right. 2 wide to the left, takes the snap, hands off. Bailey up the middle, crosses the 15, and is tackled there.
Up the middle. Good for a Raider 5-yard gain.
Liam Doherty on the tackle.
For the Raiders at the Eagle 21-yard line.
So 2nd and 5 from the 16 it'll be, with 3:13 remaining in the half. Raiders on the move. We're tied at 14. Petrillo out of the shotgun with Bailey to his right. 2 wide receivers left. Petrillo takes the snap and hands off to Bailey. Cuts it back up the middle, 15, and is going to be brought down around the 10, pushing forward maybe. They'll probably give him forward progress here. A pile of Eagles, including Doherty, on the stop. They get it down inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. So a gain of 9, 1st and goal from the 7. With 2:54 remaining in the second quarter. So Bailey lines up to the left of Petrillo. On first down out of the shotgun. 3 receivers bunched right for the Raiders, including Brahini and Lowry, along with Outlaw. Takes the snap and hands off to Bailey. Off tackle right. 5, 4, 3. Ball loose at the goal line. Ball loose at the goal line.
Bailey takes the carry to the 1-yard line.
It looks like they're going to say Bailey was down at the 1.
Seems that he was down by contact. 2nd down and 1.
And so Bailey to the 1. 2nd and goal from the 1. With 2:15 remaining in the second. And so Petrillo will line up out of the shotgun. Bailey to his left. Again, 3 receivers bunched right. So goal line stand for Edison. Petrillo taking his time at the moment. Now is ready. Takes the snap. Hands off to Bailey. Dances right. Going into the end zone. And touchdown North Brunswick Raiders. Miles Bailey. Page 3 of the bailout plan from Miles Bailey. So Bailey scores from 1 yard out, and the Raiders lead it 20-14. Aaron R. for the extra point. Christian Petrillo exhorting to the sideline. I'm not sure what play call he's looking for. Oh, he's looking for personnel. He wanted somebody to come in. All right, there we go. So now we're ready. Low snap. Petrillo takes it. He'll try to run, and he's going to be tackled. Stansbury on the tackle back at the 15-yard line. Noah Stansbury. And so extra point no good. And so with 1:50 left to go in the half, North Brunswick 20, Edison 14. We will break and we will come back here to Edison in just a moment. It's Raiders football on the King James Radio Network. Back here to Edison, New Jersey. Corbett Thompson here at jamesisking.com. 20-14, the Raiders lead it. With 1:50 to go in the second, Aaron R. will kick it, and a high and a long kick sails over everybody and goes through the end zone. It'll be a touchback. Aaron R. on the kick.
Aaron R. gets a hold of that one and kicks it into the Edison end zone.
And just think, 2 years ago, R. was not doing kicks. He was just doing punts. And here he is. He's really matured as a kicker.
First and 10, Edison.
So the Eagles will have it 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Now, I know in the NFL it's the 25, but still in high school it's the 20. So 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Dean Escobar will work out of the shotgun here with Armani Bell to his right. Takes the snap, drops back, throws it left. Intercepted! Intercepted! That's Chris Arnold! Arnold with the pick! And he is brought down by Camille Pryor at the 22-yard line. Chris Arnold. Chris Arnold was right there waiting for it. At the risk of me repeating myself, Chris Arnold is a beast. He was named Defensive Player of the Week 2 weeks ago on week 0. And you see why. Arnold read that one and jumped it. So 1st and 10 Raiders from the 22-yard line with a chance to get a quick score here. Petrillo, keep in mind the Raiders have 2 timeouts. Petrillo with a split backfield out of the gun and hand off to Bailey. He dropped it. Petrillo picks it up inside the 15-yard line down to about the 13.
Petrillo also picks up the ball.
Bailey dropped it after the handoff, and Petrillo picked it up and ran and got positive yardage out of it down to the 15. So gain of 7, 2nd and 3 from the 15-yard line with 1:11 to go in the first half. Raiders will keep their timeouts for the moment. 2 wide receivers right, split backfield. Bailey to the left, Arnold to the right of Petrillo. Petrillo out of the gun, takes the snap, and gives to Bailey at the very last second. Bailey, 15-10, near side, and he is down there.
On the run for the Raiders, brought down by number 1 of Edison, Armani Bell.
Armani Bell on the tackle for the Eagles.
First down.
And so that'll bring us to 1st and goal from the 10.
1st and goal from the Edison 10-yard line with 48 seconds.
48 seconds left in the half, and again, the Raiders have 2 timeouts. We'll see if they use them. Right now, I don't know. They're not exactly hurrying to the line. So 1st and goal from the 10. Split backfield for Petrillo. And out of the shotgun, takes the snap, looking, and here comes a rush. Nope, gets away, breaks the tackle, throws it deep ball, end zone, man open in the back of the end zone. Did he catch it? Touchdown, North Brunswick Raiders, Tyree Geaston.
Petrillo's pass is complete to Tyreek Easton.
Geaston kept his feet in bounds on the back end of the end zone.
For 6 points.
Petrillo, first of all, had to break a tackle.
26 for North Brunswick, 14 for Edison.
And then he got that off to Geaston. Tyree Geaston, if nothing else, has made some acrobatic catches for the Raiders this year. Last week with the toe drag swag keeping in bounds, and now this week on the end line. Aaron R. to kick the extra point, and it is no good.
R's extra point is no good.
Looks like he missed it, so the Raiders have not converted on their last two extra points.
With 19 seconds remaining in the half.
19 seconds left in the half. North Brunswick 26, Edison 14. We'll break. We'll come back on the King James Radio Network. Back here to Edison, New Jersey. Corbett Thompson here at jamesisking.com. And the Raiders with a couple of quick scores here. Christian Petrillo to Tyree Geeston. From 10 yards out, Aaron R. will kick from right to left with 19 seconds left in the first half. Edison does have 2 timeouts to work with. 3 men back deep for the Eagles. And this kick goes right down the middle, taken by Pryor at about the 23, Pryor to the 30, and still up the middle, 35, and tackled there.
Number 5, Camille Pryor fields the kick.
Tyler Jordan on the stop for the Raiders. So it'll be 1st and 10. Edison will have it.
Brings it out to the Edison 35. We have a timeout on the field. North Brunswick.
Timeout, North Brunswick.
Timeout of the half.
Well, better to be safe than sorry here. You don't want to be caught off guard with your personnel, so I think that's why the Raiders might have called time here. So 1st and 10 Edison from the 35-yard line with 12 seconds left in the half. Well, if you're Edison, you're probably looking for a play downfield, preferably by the sideline. With 12 seconds, you probably have time for 2 plays, maybe 3. There's got to be some quick outs.
October 23rd for a baseball fundraiser.
So we'll see what Matt Fulham draws up.
See you there.
But the Eagles will have it from the 35-yard line. As they come out of the timeout. The Raiders with 3 defensive backs and only 2 down linemen. Looks like a 4-4-2 here as Escobar will go ahead and hand off here to Bell, and he gets to about the 45 before he's tackled there. Samad Wingo on the tackle.
Escobar hands off to number 1, Armani Bell.
Timeout, Edison.
To the Eagle 49-yard line.
Edison calls time.
Edison calls the timeout.
And so the ball is spotted at the 47.
Check that, the ball is placed at the
47.
7-yard line.
Gain of 12 for Armani Bell. So that's an Edison first down. 1st and 10 from the 47, and with 3 seconds left, you're basically looking at a Hail Mary. So we'll see how many receivers the Eagles put out here. Gilliam, who has scored both Edison touchdowns, is lined up wide to the left. So technically 1st and 10 Edison from their own 47. And out of the shotgun will be Escobar. Takes the snap, dropping back, looks and throws it left side and dropped incomplete.
Escobar's pass
Intended for Gilliam and just dropped it off the hands, and that will do it for the first half. And so North Brunswick with a couple of late scores in the second quarter make it a 26-14 lead at halftime. And so the Raiders so far coming out with their highest point total of the season, and they did it in the first 2 quarters. Well, I had a chance to catch up with none other than Mr. Joe DePayne, who is a coach with the Raiders and also runs the NBTHS Athletics Hall of Fame. He's been around a very long time at North Brunswick, and he was the one coach that I didn't get a chance to talk to at our Meet the Coaches show that we did back in August at the Green Turtle. So I wanted to catch up with him and talk to him and get his thoughts on the team, the program, and the season. He also serves as the liaison for North Brunswick football to the middle school and Pop Warner football programs in North Brunswick. So a lot of knowledge in that mind of Joe DePayne, and still got it. He's still sharp as a tack. So without any further ado, here's my conversation with Joe DePayne, and after that, we will come back with some halftime numbers and the second half.
Here with Joe DePayne, one of the coaches for the Raiders, as his main title or his main role is to be the ambassador for the Raiders football program between Linwood Middle School and also Pop Warner, the North Brunswick Indians AC out there over by Cousins Lane. So, Coach DePayne was just telling me, 28 years he's been here. And so you've been through, as far as the football program, you've seen Steve Lebro, the original coach, and all of the coaches after that.
Yeah. Yes.
Tell me about every coach is different, but have you been able to kind of pick up something from every coach that you've seen?
When I first started with Steve, it was a funny thing. When I started my first year as being a liaison, because I was running Pop Warner, he says you're allowed to come up, but you can't ask questions and you can't give any responses. You sit there and learn. My second and third year, I started to ask questions and learn a lot more. But Steve was a guy that let all his coaches coach. And you learned a little bit from all of them, because believe it or not, some of those guys were my teachers in school. I went to the North Brunswick schools here up until 9th grade, then we went to New Brunswick High School. So Mr. DeTorres, Mr. Dana, were all teachers that I had in Linwood. So I learned a lot there. As the years went on, Joey Policastro was our second coach here. That was a 6-year learning period, and that was our downside. But when Sal Mastretta came here, honest to God, I learned a lot more. Sal was more modern, went into everything, and that's why we produced the kids that are in there coaching now, the three side pots, they were all players, and we learned a lot. Sal, again, let everybody coach. And then I just, went on. Mark Zielinski was here, a very good coach also. We went ups and downs there. And now, when Michael got the job, he called me up and said, listen, I want you to come aboard. And I was up front with him and said, listen, I'll come aboard as a volunteer. You figure out what you want me to do. And that's when he said, be the liaison for all the programs. And what that means is I go down to Linwood to make sure they're running our system. What problems do you have? What do you need? I'll get it for you. Same thing with Pop Warner. I go down to them and I said, I want you guys to run our system, but let's simplify it. Just use the same terminology. So when these boys come up, they understand if we say something, they're not out in left field. So they have a step up, because we do get transfers and we get people moving in. So you want our home boys to get first crack at everything. So it's been interesting. It's some weird ways of philosophy and everything. Like I said, when I coached the side pots, Nick and Mike, you would try to teach them something, but they had a slang for it. But I would sit back and say, the slang is just getting it done well, so I'm going to go with their terminology. So as a coach, you have to be flexible. Not everybody understands X's and O's, but if you put Y's and Z's in there, they get it.
The number one thing you mentioned before about being on the same page with Linwood and being on the same page with Pop Warner, was that especially when this team, had the down years, the end of the Zielinski reign and then into Don Zach, was that, where things weren't going so well, was that the number one thing, was just getting everybody, this is what we're running?
Yes. You had to get them back on page. I went down and tried to talk to everybody because, if you ever looked at our Pop Warner teams, a lot of kids, undefeated teams, but when it came to 9th grade, they were all scattered, went to different schools. So we had to try to teach them that, listen, come up here and you could be the stars up here. And we're getting that to that point now. The kids are starting to come. The Linwood kids, they would go 7th and 8th, play there, and then all of a sudden, who's going to St. Joe's? Just like you saw in our St. Joe's game. Big Johnny Olmstead was a Linwood boy, played. And, we talk, but, when mom and dad say, I want him to go there for education, we have no defense on that. You want the best for your children. But now we got the boys coming. So that's the main, and they do understand, because I emphasize this. It's no good if you're going to be the big jock. You got to go to class. Don't come up here and figure it out. I don't have to go to school and because as soon as you get your first marking period and you got all D's and E's and F's, you're gone.
Speaking of getting to class, the school's been closed for the last week just because of some issues with a couple of the classrooms. But do you find yourself just as much as a teacher as a coach?
You do, and I can tell you from all my years, you're a parent. Years and years ago in the 90s, I had a boy that I knew his parents came in and said, "Coach, got a problem." He figured, okay, he broke his helmet, he lost something. He goes, "My girlfriend is going to have a baby." Well, that floored me. But we did sit down and say, well, listen, your first responsibility is that child that you're going to bring into the world. So you get all kinds. You get some guidance. You don't want to overstep your bounds with the parents and all, but you got to know when you pull the string. You want to help them out. They tell you a lot of things. They tell you stuff in confidence, so you can't turn around and start blabbing it. You have to watch what you're doing. Always related, like the boy I just referenced to, brought staff in and say, okay, how are we going to treat this? So we all agreed. Then we go to administration and say, there's a problem that we're going to send a boy to you to talk about.
Talking with Joe DePayne, again, a member of the North Brunswick Athletics Hall of Fame. What was that like when you got inducted? What year was that?
Well, I'll refrain. I've been running that program. Never been inducted.
Oh, you run it?
Yeah.
Well, then it'll be a matter of time. Then, since you ran it, it's only natural that you'll be. But when did you start running it?
We started the Hall of Fame started years and years ago. I'm going to say back in the 90s. It was the committee was Steve Libro, myself, whoever the AD might have been, Stan Williston, Eddie Brahini. We brought some, Sarah Diller. We brought everybody in to try to get, let's honor our kids. We have kids. I'm going to use Timmy because everybody knows Timmy Howard.
Tim Howard, yeah.
The USA Goldie. He plays on he started with Manchester United, started with the local team over here at Cosmos. And I said, if we can't get him into the Hall of Fame, there's something wrong. But we've gotten a lot of kids into the Hall, boys, girls, for their different achievements. And I think it's a great honor. They come back and they're so excited about being in. We've gotten coaches in. And it's really nice to see the old-time coaches come back and then mingle with the crowd.
Yeah. And, in coming back to coach football, is there, I guess, a challenge in, these kids are 15, 16 years old. It seems like they get younger every year. I know even for me. Is there a challenge in, you mentioned the lingo earlier about guys who will use slang just to kind of make it a smoother, transition. Is that a challenge at, I don't know how old you are. I don't want to get there, but is it a challenge relating to some of the younger kids is what I'm getting at?
It is sometime, but I go right down to their level and we'll talk. And the biggest thing that I've tried to tell parents forever is the game. Once the game gets over, win, lose, draw, these boys forget it. They're on to something else. It's us parents that haggle over, oh my God, we lost. What are we going to do? We lost. Oh boy, we won big. So that's the different stuff. Years ago, we all cried about it. But these kids, they bounce back. And my sayings to the kids are the same thing. You could be great out there on a Friday night. You better be great Monday through Friday, 7 to 3 in that classroom, because you're not going anyplace until you do that. I'm fortunate enough that my nephew is an assistant athletic director at the University of Cincinnati. So we talk a lot. I'll pass on names and everything like that. And the first thing he'll say is, Uncle Joe. So what do they do in the class? I said, well, this one's maybe a C. I said, he's 3.5 and this one's a little bit better. So he goes, okay. Because you try to tell the boys, when they give you a scholarship, that's an investment of about $400,000 to $500,000 that they're putting on your back. So you need to produce just like they have to help you out and everything.
Did you ever want to be an athletic director?
No. I always enjoyed sports, always enjoyed everything. It's like anything else. When you do bad as the AD, you're the guy that gets let go. Everybody under you gets to stay. I enjoy it because I have the freedom of bouncing around. The athletic department and the school's been great to me. I do work for the board. I'm at a different school, but I try to do the best I can. Lou Emanuel, I had a great relationship. He goes, Joe, I need 4 scoreboards. Lou, don't worry. I'll dig up the money. And I went around to friends and said, give me $2,700. Give me $2,700. I said, I'll put your name on the board. So I get to do things like that because with the laws nowadays, the school really can't do that. So we do it the proper way. I get the money, we funnel it through, and we get stuff. Just like for the boys on the football team. Things that we need, we'll go out. My organization, the Adams Athletic Club, does a lot. The Cypots, Pushan Brown, those guys were all Pop Warner players. So we have no problem opening up our checkbook and let's get them shirts. They need this, they need that. We do that. I coordinate all that.
Just like I got my nice shirt right here.
There you go.
My last question. A lot of expectations this year. You guys, as a football team, want to go further in the state playoffs. What have you said to the kids as far as just the expectations of the season and going a step further?
I told them all to let's take game by game. Let's play your hardest. Don't ever come up to me at the end of the game, win, lose, draw, and say, I could have done better. Well, there's no time to do better in the game we just played. And then I also tell them, keep your emotions inside. Somebody hits you on the field, don't turn around and swing. The second guy is the guy to always get caught. You want to take it out on that boy, you hit him harder. Don't do anything that'll get you thrown out because boys, all athletes don't understand. You get thrown out of a game, you sit for 2 more games. 3 games in a season of 9, it's a third. So I try to tell them, we'll behave. Coach Mike Sipot got us back on good graces. We do a lot of community service. We will take our boys, we bring them down to the cemetery, we'll put flags out there. They need help someplace. God willing, we're not going to get the hurricane that's supposed to be coming, but we would be out helping. You got to make people be proud when they see us go someplace with a Raiders shirt on and say, oh, that's the football team. A lot of people, everybody wants a winner, but I think they like when they see positive things, and that's what we want to portray. We want to make positive things.
And I remember I saw you in the press box for the St. Joe's game. Do you get involved in the X's and O's at all, or no?
Oh yeah. I'm up to last year. I worked with John.
That's right.
John Sipot on the offense. This year, Mike says you're going to come, and Mike, Nick, and I are running the defense. 2 guys are doing. I'm charting, and I'm saying, well, listen. When they come into this formation, this is what's going to happen. This is what they did last time, and this is what we did, and it didn't work. So it's all quick thinking.
Absolutely. So, again, Joe DePayne, again, long time here at MBTHS, and you probably no plans of slowing down, I don't think.
No, I enjoy it. Right now I have a granddaughter and a grandson. My grandson's 2 years old, but he can throw a football pretty good. And I've taken both the kids on the field. I would, God willing, you live long enough to see these kids play. They both live in different towns, but I will go there. But right now, I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying the kids, the staff. I'll go in as the elder statesman and say, this is how we're going to do things. You don't have to act like this. I said, you're making a big decision in a little bit of time. Go sleep over it. Then let's come back and talk about it.
Okay. Well, Coach, thank you for some time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And good luck to you, of course, the rest of the way.
Thank you very much.
There you hear from Joe DePayne, the liaison for the North Brunswick football program, as far as between the Linwood Middle School football program, and the Pop Warner football program in North Brunswick. So my thanks to Joe DePayne for his time. And so here at halftime, the Edison Marching Band is out on the field. We were tied. The Raiders scoring 2 late touchdowns to take a 26-14 lead. And so we'll get you all of the stats and recaps and different things like that coming up on the other side of the break. But, so far right now it looks like the momentum has definitely shifted towards the Raiders. We'll see if Edison takes it back in the second half. 26-14 Raiders at the half. We'll break. We'll come back with some halftime numbers and a short recap, ever so short recap. This is North Brunswick Raiders football on the King James Radio Network.
It's time for this date in Raiders football history as we take a look back at this date in North Brunswick Raiders football. And, of course, today is September the 14th. Now, the Raiders are 0-3 on this date, September the 14th, losing in 2002, 2007, and 2012. With the 2007 game being a 21-9 loss to Edison, their opponents this evening. That is a look at this date in Raiders football history. We'll be back with more of North Brunswick Raiders football on the King James Radio Network. This week at Restoration Place, just look at the evidence by Pastor John Bazemore Jr.
You cannot let people determine where you are in life because you start a little behind. It doesn't matter where you start. How many of you know it's all about where you finish?
Restoration Place, on demand on the King James Radio Network at jamesisking.com.
All right, we come back now ready for the second half. We'll see if we can get you some stats real quick for the Raiders here. Christian Petrillo, 6 of 7 in the air for 50 yards and a touchdown pass. 9 carries for 56. Miles Bailey, 12 carries for 57 yards and a touchdown. Chris Arnold, 9 carries for 79 yards for Arnold with 2 touchdowns. Petrillo has a rushing touchdown as well as Aaron R. will kick this from left to right. And back deep catching it at the 10-yard line is Velez. Josiah Velez gets all the way to about the 30-yard line.
Number 5, Camille Pryor, tackled by number
Camille, well, that was Pryor on the run back. Asaru Napier on the tackle for the Raiders. But just to finish up, we told you about Arnold and Bailey. Bailey also catching some passes out of the backfield, 3 for 15 yards there. Manny Herrera, 1 catch for 25. Hopefully I didn't leave anybody out. But Edison ball to start the second half, 1st and 10. Looks like from the 29-yard line. Escobar will work out of the shotgun here with the back to his left, takes the snap and hands off. That back will run right and breaks a tackle, got past Wingo there and gets it to about the 34-yard line. Looked like Sean Berhini on the tackle for the Raiders. That was Tyler Montford on the tackle. So ball is spotted at the 34-yard line. We'll see if we can post you some Edison numbers here in just a second. It'll be 2nd and 5 from the 34. Man in motion. That looks like Velez. Escobar keeps it, throws it right, and incomplete. Throws it towards the sideline.
Escobar's pass is incomplete.
Looked like that was intended for Stansbury. So that will bring us to 3rd down. But in the meantime, let me see if I can get you some Edison stats here in just a second, if I can. Dean Escobar, 4 of 12. Some funky stats for Escobar. 4 for 12 for 133 yards with 2 touchdown passes and 2 interceptions. 2 carries for 5 yards. Armani Bell, 1 carry for 12. Josiah Velez, 1 carry for 6. Camille Pryor, we'll get to him in a second. 3rd and 5. And out of the shotgun, Escobar drops back. Ball is batted in the air by Wingo. And still caught by Gilliam at the 40. And Samir Session holds him up and tackles him there.
Escobar's pass is tipped. Eventually caught by number 6.
So Session on the tackle, but Wingo tipped that up in the air. And Gilliam still caught it. Wingo was able to get a hand up there. There was a flag down, but I see that it looks like that will be negated. So never mind the flag. Gain of 6 on 3rd and 5, so 1st and 10 from the 40. But just to continue, Camille Pryor, 2 catches for 33 yards. Orion Gilliam with his 4th catch of the night. As first down, this one is going to be a keeper for Escobar, crosses the 45. Tackled there, like Manny Herrera got him. So Escobar on the keeper. And again, Escobar had 2 carries for 5 yards in the first half. Just to finish up, Gilliam had 3 catches for 100 in the first half, his 4th catch a moment ago. 154 yards for the Edison offense. So the ball at the 46, which means a gain of 6 in 2nd and 4. Going in motion is Velez to the far side. Escobar takes the snap, and they'll hand off, coming around to the right, crossing the 50, and into North Brunswick territory, down at the 45-yard line. Montfort, Tyler Montfort, getting some touches here in the second half. Montfort with a couple of good runs for the Eagles. Gain of 8, 1st and 10, Edison. From the North Brunswick 46-yard line. 10:02 to go in the third quarter. Edison trying to get back in the game, trailing 26-14. 2 wide receivers right. Escobar out of the shotgun, and now here comes Camille Pryor in motion to the near side. Takes the snap and fakes the handoff, keeps it himself. 45 up the middle, 40, and tackled there.
Escobar on the quarterback keep. Good for
Looks like Tyrell Pereira on the tackle. And Chris Arnold. Ball down to the 39, gain of 7 for Escobar. So now Edison, even with being behind by 2 scores, still effectively running the football. 2nd and 3 from the 39. Escobar out of the gun here. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, and throws it right and completes it. Rolling catch by Stansberry. Brandon Outlaw on the coverage.
To number 11, Noah Stansberry for another Edison first down.
A lot of moving parts on that play. And so first down, Edison from just outside the 25-yard line. So we'll call it 1st and 10 from the 26. Gain of 13 for the Eagles. 8:56 to go in the third. North Brunswick 26, Edison 14. Coming in motion is Pryor. Montfort to the right of Escobar, and he'll take the handoff. Gets it about a yard to the 25. And that's about it.
Number 29, Tyler Montfort on the carry.
I didn't quite see the tackle. So 2nd down and 9 from the 25. 8:24 to go. Here in the third. Gilliam, he's the guy lined up wide to the left, trips to the right. Montfort to the right, and out of the shotgun, Escobar takes the snap, throws it right side, and caught by Stansberry, and inside the 10 towards the 6-yard line. Tyrell Pereira almost picked that off, but it got past him right to Stansberry.
6-yard line.
So, good focus there for Stansberry. It will be 1st and goal from the 6. Gain of 19. Escobar will trot back out. And it will be 1st and goal for the Eagles on their opening drive of the second half. So Edison will come to the line, 1st and goal. And they'll go ahead and hand off here. And touchdown Edison. Stansberry right up the middle. Stansberry went right up. Escobar went right up the middle and scores the Edison touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run for Escobar.
Number 31, Juan Lucamion for the extra point.
So Juan Lacumi for the extra point here. Owen Fogarty to hold. Snap, spot, and Lacumi's kick is high, and it is good. So Edison scores on their opening drive of the second half. 7 minutes, 35 seconds to go in the third quarter, and we've got ourselves a game again. North Brunswick 26, Edison 21. We'll break. We'll come back with Raiders football on the King James Radio Network.
The King James Radio Network is now accepting inquiries this summer to broadcast games on our King James Jr. channel. If you have a youth baseball, basketball, or football game in the state of New Jersey that you want to be heard on the air, please send an email to kingjamesradio1@gmail.com with the date and time that you're looking for, and we'll let you know if we can make it. Inquiries are not guaranteed to be accepted based on a combination of availability and first come, first serve. We look forward to broadcasting your game on King James Jr., a channel of the King James Radio Network at jamesisking.com.
We come back to Raiders football with 7:35 left to go in the third quarter. 26-21 is your score. Sayreville, who scored 34 points on the Raiders last week, lead Woodbridge 7-0 in their game. This is a line drive kick caught by one of the up men here at the 26. That's Chris Arnold. And gets it to about the 38.
North Brunswick 38-yard line.
And so the Raiders will have it here on 1st and 10. They'll spot it at the 39.
Old Bridge 14, Perth Amboy 6.
Old Bridge 15-6 over Perth Amboy. Some of these scores I wasn't expecting. And 15-6 Old Bridge over Perth Amboy. Split backfield for Petrillo on first down from the 39. Two receivers left. And out of the snap, hands off to Bailey, going left, crosses the 40, 45, still going. Left side 50, 45, left sideline 40, out of bounds, and no, tackled inbounds. Inside the 35. On the tackle, Xavier Long, who's back in the game.
First down and 10 for the Raiders from the Eagle 36-yard line.
And so ball is spotted at the 36. And so that is a gain of 25. 1st and 10 from the 36. Trips to the right for the Raiders. Empty backfield. 5 wides. Petrillo out of the gun. He'll run up himself. He'll run it himself, go up the middle, and Long brings him down short of the 30-yard line.
Down by number 54, Xavier Long. Good for a 5-yard gain. 2nd down and 5.
So ball is spotted at the 31.
For the Eagle, 31.
Yeah, 31-yard line. So gain of 5 for Petrillo. 2nd down and 5. Empty backfield again, 5 wides, trips to the right for Petrillo. He's out of the shotgun, takes the snap, looks right, throws right, completes it to Outlaw, and he will get out of bounds. Or maybe not. Tackled, Brandon Outlaw tackled inside the 30.
Petrillo's pass is complete to Brandon Outlaw, driven out of bounds by a host of Eagles. 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, so it gets to the 28, it looks like. So we'll call it 3rd and a long 2 from the 28. So the Raiders trying to answer here. Split backfield. Petrillo out of the shotgun. Bailey to the right. Takes the snap. And he'll hand off to Bailey. Spins out of 1 tackle. Gets at least back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a yard or 2. Keegan comes up with the Keegan McGuire. McGuire came up with the football, but the refs aren't buying it. So it looks like it will be a Raider first down.
First down and 10 for North Brunswick.
So Bailey was able to at least get that. And it'll be 1st and 10 from the 26. So 1st down and 10 Raiders from the Edison 26-yard line. 6:07 to go in the 3rd. Raiders up 26-21. Arnold this time to the right of Petrillo. 3 receivers bunched left out of the gun. And Petrillo hands off to Arnold, trying to go around the edge. Breaks 1 tackle. And 20. Cuts it back inside by the sideline. 15.
Miles Bailey on the carry, but there's a flag on the play back at the
A tough run for Chris Arnold. Looks like we got a penalty against the Raiders, though, and it's going to come back.
Penalty seems to be on the Raiders.
And so with 5:49 left in the 3rd, the Raiders will take a step back here. And again, North Brunswick 26, Edison 21. I think it's a block in the back.
The penalty is a block in the back.
And so it will come back.
We want to bring the Raiders back.
And it's coming back a ways.
All the way to the 37-yard line.
So loss of 11 from the original line of scrimmage. So first and 20, first and 20, or short 21, if you will, from the 37. Clock runs, 5:43 to go in the third. Petrillo out of the gun, Chris Arnold to his right. 3 receivers bunched right. The pitch goes to Arnold. Arnold cuts it back to the right and gets to about the 30. We got a fumble. Edison says they have it.
And there's a fumble on the play.
I don't see a signal. Let me see. I don't see a signal yet. Edison says they have it. And they do.
Edison recovers. Edison Eagles first
And
down.
they do.
Turnover on the
The Raiders with their second turnover of the night. At the 28-yard line.
5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. The Eagles take over at
So
the 28-yard
Arnold did gain 9 yards on the play, but then the fumble. And the Raiders now have to play defense. Mike Saipot talked about that in our pregame about what do you do after the turnover is what matters. So first and 10, Edison from their own 28. The Raiders capitalizing on Edison turnovers. We'll see if the Eagles do the same. 2 wide receivers right. Escobar out of the gun. He'll run. Going off tackle right. Crosses the 30. Outstretches his arm towards the 35. Samad Wingo on the tackle for North Brunswick. So Escobar to the 34. Gain of 6. You're seeing a lot more of Escobar on the ground here for the Eagles in the second half. So 2nd and 4 from the 34. 4:41 to go in the third. Escobar out of the shotgun here, takes the snap. He'll run again, this time going right, and makes his way to the 38. And as he hit the ground, I think the ball popped loose. Arnold, among others, on the stop. Gain of 5 on 2nd and 4, which will give the Eagles a first down at the 39-yard line. 4:15 to go in the third. North Brunswick 26, Edison 21. Edison scored on their opening drive of the second half, which was 65 yards. Trips to the left for the Eagles, 4 wide receivers. Montfort to the right. Out of the shotgun, Escobar drops back, looks left, throws it over the middle, and it is intercepted! Intercepted! Asaru Napier to the 40, 30, back inside, 20, and out of bounds! Asaru Napier with the pick!
By the Raiders and brought back to the Eagle 18-yard line.
And so Asaru Napier getting the interception.
It was number
25, Asaru Napier.
Napier on the interception for the Raiders. It'll be a 1st and 10 for North Brunswick.
And that is the 3rd interception of the night for Escobar. And so the Raiders get it back. 1st and 10. Ball is spotted at the 18-yard line of Edison. With 3:43 to go in the third. 26-21 Raiders. And Petrillo, as the Raiders right now just standing at the line. Petrillo, house formation around Petrillo here. 3 in the backfield. Petrillo with the count. Low snap, picks it up, pitches it to Bailey. And we get a whistle. I don't know if there was a flag or not. I think. Yeah, they're going to say Petrillo's knee was down when he picked up the snap. So that will be a loss of 4. 2nd and 14 now from the 22. So not a good sequence there for North Brunswick. Again, house formation. Petrillo will pitch it this time, going to Bailey, it looks like. And Long, among others, on the tackle.
Taken down by number 54 of
Xavier Long.
Xavier Number 54, Xavier Long, and number 52, Keenan McGuire. A loss of
So,
1. Third down and 15 for the Raiders.
Ball back at the 22. We'll call it 3rd and 14. We're coming up on 3 minutes to go in the third. Split backfield this time. Outlaw to the right, Bailey to the left. Petrillo out of the shotgun, takes the snap, looking, now rolling right, looking towards the end zone, trying to get out of there, throws it right side, and it's going to be incomplete. Mix on the coverage. The intended receiver was, I'm trying to see if that's R or Geeston. Looked like that was R. Yeah, Aaron R was the intended receiver. And so it'll be 4th down.
R will be on to attempt a 39.
4th and 14 from the 22. And yes, Aaron R will try a 39-yard field goal. The Raiders kicked their first field goal in 8 years on opening night against St. Joe's. We'll see if R still has it. So, Petrillo holds. Snap. Nope. It's going to be long. It's going to be well short and to the left. Looks like Noah Stansbury did get a piece of it, so partially blocked.
So the attempt is no good, and the Eagles will take over.
And so,
at the 20-yard line.
Both teams have turned it over here in the second half, but no harm, no foul on either side. 2:39 to go in the third. 26-21 is your score. We'll break, and we'll come back on the King James Radio Network.
Listeners of the King James Radio Network can visit the King James Radio Network shop at jamesisking.com and get $10 off of your purchase with no expiration dates and no limits. Right at the top of the homepage is the My Locker icon. Click and customize your own KJRN gear from there, then use the code listed on the website for your discount. Sweaters, t-shirts, hats, bags, and all kinds of apparel to give you the look of a top-notch team or a top-notch individual. Thank you for checking out the KJRN shop at My Locker, only at jamesisking.com.
We come back, 1st and 10 from the 20 for Edison. And Escobar ran for 2 yards. So it'll be 2nd and 8 from the 22. With 2:05 remaining in the third, 26-21 is your score. Velez in motion to the far side. Escobar empty backfield. He'll work out of the shotgun. Pryor in motion, fakes the handoff and goes straight up the middle and crosses over the 30 to about the 31. Manny Herrera on the tackle.
31-yard line, good for an Edison first down.
And right now it's just been a steady diet of Dean Escobar for the Eagles.
1:45 remaining in the third quarter.
So 1:45 left in the third, and Edison, again, just been Escobar, for the majority. 2 wide receivers right, 2 on each side, 4 to be exact. Montfort to the left of Escobar. He's out of the shotgun. He'll hand off to Montfort. Going around the edge, going right, crosses the 45, 50, far side, and into North Brunswick territory. Breaks the tackle, gets to the 40, and down to the Edison 35. Flag down, though.
Seems to be a hold on Edison.
Asaru Napier was on the tackle, but it looks like it's going to come back.
So that penalty will bring that play back.
So a good run there for Montfort, but it will come back. And so that's a costly penalty for the Eagles. 1:18 to go in the third. We're at 26-21. North Brunswick up by 5. Holding against Edison.
So the penalty will bring Edison back to their own 23-yard line.
So it comes back to the 23, so that's a net loss of 8. 1st and 18. From the 23. They've got to get to their own 41 for a first down. 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side. Montfort in the backfield. Escobar out of the shotgun, takes the snap, hands off to Pryor, bobbles it, now has it, and will try to come to the near side, gets a block, and cuts back inside at
number 5, Camille Pryor
at about the 25.
Number 89.
Sean Brahini on the tackle.
Sean Berhini.
Berhini coming back from an injury last week. So ball is at the 26. So really it's been Escobar and Montford here in the second half. 2nd and 15 now from the 26. 40 seconds to go in the third. 5 wides. And Velez in motion. Escobar fakes to Velez. Tries to go up the middle. And ball popped loose, but he was down.
Escobar on the quarterback keep.
And so on the stop
6 yards.
for the Raiders, Tyshawn Parson. The ball is at the 31, and I think that's going to be the quarter.
3rd down and 11 for Edison.
So we'll be generous here, and we'll call it 3rd and 10 at the end of the quarter. So as the clock runs to 2, and then 1, and then 0, we have played 3 quarters here in Edison at the Eagles Nest. North Brunswick 26, Edison 21. We will break, and we will come back with the start of the 4th quarter in just a moment. You're listening to North Brunswick Raiders football on the King James Radio Network. We come back now ready to start the 4th quarter. North Brunswick 26, Edison 21. The Eagles will have the ball here, 3rd down and 10.
Edison 3rd down and 11.
From their own 31-yard line.
31-yard line.
And so we'll see if Edison, it looks like they're going to be forced to throw it here. Trips to the right. Montford to the right of Escobar. Out of the shotgun, Escobar, quick throw to the right, and he hit the ground before Stansbury could pick it up. Incomplete. And now 4th down.
And that'll bring up a 4th down and 11 for Edison as they send out the punt team.
So Edison will be forced to punt.
This will be our first punt of the game.
And it looks like Frank Vega is back to punt. Yeah, Edison's first punt of the night. Back deep for the Raiders is Miles Bailey. Bailey standing at his own 40. Vega back at his own 16. Miles Bailey back to return for the Raiders. And takes the snap, does Vega to his right, tries to get it away. No! It looked like it might have been deflected. Vega's down. And the ball is loose. Looked like Leon Lowry got in there and got the block. But Vega is down, and now there's a flag down at the very end. Flag down. They just threw it at the end.
We have an injured player on the field.
Vega is hurt, but I don't know why they did. If they were going to throw it, I don't know why they didn't throw it right away. So it looks like they're going to call a roughing the kicker here. This is what it looks like. I'll wait for the official call. But if you're going to throw the flag, just throw it right away and don't leave any doubt. But Vega will be helped up here. So it looked like Lowry got in on Vega. But now the refs are talking it over. So nothing has been officially decided yet here. With 11:46 to go in the 4th. So from our vantage point, it looked like Lowry did not touch the ball. But let's see what's decided here. Right now, okay, here we go. Looks like he's going to walk over to head coach Matt Fulham here for Edison and explain his decision, whatever that may be. Okay. So apparently it looks like there will be a roughing the kicker call here. No signal from anybody. But they are bringing the ball all the way out to the Edison 46, so it looks like that is the call. And so roughing the kicker is the call against the Raiders, 15 yards to the 46. And that's where it will be 1st and 10. So again, this is a one-score game. 26-21 Raiders with 11:46 to go in the 4th. So every call is a crucial one. Mike Sipot doesn't look very happy. Mike Saipot is out on the field right now talking to the referee, and Coach Saipot is visibly upset at the call. And so Coach Saipot getting in his money's worth to the chagrin of the Edison crowd. And so Edison will have it. Vega is still on the ground, shaken up. And he does not look like he's getting up anytime soon here. Now they're going to try to help him up. There's 3 guys out there helping up Vega. And he will hobble off, and it doesn't look good.
Everybody, let's give a big round of applause to number 3, Frankie Vega.
So Vega will come off, but Edison will have a first down.
The penalty will give Edison a first down.
So if it's of any consolation to Vega, he didn't sacrifice himself for nothing.
So it'll be Edison first and 10 from their own 46-yard line, with 11:46 remaining in the game. Edison trails by 5, 26 North 21 Edison.
You hear from Jack of all trades, Mark Blevins there. First and 10 from the 46. Coming in motion is to the near side is Velez, and the handoff to Montfort, and crossing the line of scrimmage, gets to about the 49 before Wingo and others bring him down.
Penalty on the field. The flag is holding.
Holding against Edison. It looks like it's going to come back. So now the game is starting to be littered with penalties on both sides. And so it'll come back from the spot of the foul. Ball was at the 43-yard line. So they'll bring it back to the 33. So
the penalty will bring Edison
10 yards from the spot of the foul.
32-yard line. First down and 23 for the
First
Eagles.
and 23 Edison from their own 33-yard line. 11.5 to go in the fourth quarter. Raiders lead at 26-21. 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side. Pryor in motion, and now back to the near side. Escobar out of the gun, pump fakes, looking, throws it, deep ball, right side, looking for Stansbury, makes the tap, no! Dropped out of the hands at the last second, incomplete, but there's a flag down. Flag down at the end. Brandon Outlaw was on the coverage, and it looks like they might call him for pass interference. And I believe this is the 3rd straight play where we've had a penalty. So now the officials will get together and discuss it. And it's pass interference against Edison.
So the pass interference call is called on Edison.
Pass interference called against Stansbury. They say that he pushed off on Outlaw. And so that'll set the Eagles back even further. So the ball was at the 33-yard line. They're moving backward. And so it's going to come all the way back to let's see where. So they move it back 25 and going towards the 20, over to 20, all the way back to the 18-yard line. So, yes, good job by Coach Blevins doing the math. 2nd and 38 from the 18-yard line. Edison has to get to the North Brunswick 44-yard line for a first down. They're at their own 18. 11:15 to go in the 4th. 4 wide receivers. Montfort to the right. Out of the shotgun, Escobar throws it right to Stansbury at the 20 and gets to the 25, dragging some men with him down to about the 28. Napier, one of the guys on the tackle. So We'll see if little by little Edison tries to get this yardage back. Ball is spotted at the 29. So that's a gain of 11.
Correction on the penalty, not a loss of down. It's second down now.
Okay, no loss of down on that last play, so that was first and 38. It's second and 27 now from the 29. 10.5 to go in the fourth. Trip to the left, out of the shotgun. Escobar is going to be sacked. Leon Lowry getting back there. I'm pretty certain that's Leon Lowry, number 15.
Number 14.
So Leon Lowry getting back there. Lowry, Leon Lowry.
On the sack.
And so Lowry comes up huge for the Raiders. Ball is now at the 24, so that's a loss of 5. Third and 32 from the 24 with 9:47 to go in the fourth. Trips to the left. Escobar with Montfort to his right. Out of the shotgun. Takes the snap. Looks left. Now throws it. Dumps it to Montfort. And he's going to be tackled. Tyrell Pereira on the tackle. Tyrell Pereira
on the tackle for North Brunswick as Edison sends out the punt team.
Ball was at the 25, and the referees will stop it here. So, did I hear that right?
14-6, Sayreville over Woodbridge.
Sayreville with a 14-6 lead against Woodbridge. Remember, Sayreville scored 34 points against the Raiders last week. But ball is at the 25, so it's actually a loss of 1. 4th and 34. We'll get the punt here. We'll see who's punting. That's Lakumi, the kicker. He's going to punt. Takes the snap. Gets this one away. A high kick over midfield. It will take a Raider bounce back into Edison territory. And down at the 48-yard line. Keegan McGuire downs it. So the Raiders will have it now. First and 10 from the Edison 49 with a chance to put a stronghold on this game. North Brunswick 26, Edison 21. 8:55 to go. Raiders looking to go 2-1. Got off to an 0-2 start last year before reeling off 6 straight wins, looking to do something similar this year. So the Raiders started in Edison territory, first and 10 from the 49. Leon Lowry wide to the left. Petrillo will work out of the shotgun with Bailey to his right. 3 receivers bunched right. Petrillo takes the snap, rolling right, and he'll run. Crosses midfield. 45, spins his way to about the 44.
Christian Petrillo on the quarterback key, good for 7 yards, brings up a second down and 3.
I saw Noah Stansbury in the area, so I'll give him credit for the tackle. So, gain of, let's see. That's a gain of 5, 2nd and 5 from the 44. Petrillo out of the gun. Split backfield. And snap is on the ground. Petrillo able to break one tackle. And he's going to be sacked, though. He's going to be sacked. Armani Bell gets back there. A low snap to the ground. Petrillo picked it up and had nowhere to go. There were 3 or 4 guys from Edison waiting for him. And so the Raiders will have to correct that. So it's back to the North Brunswick 47, so that's a loss of 9. 3rd down and 14 from the Raider 47. 4 receivers, 2 to each side. Bailey to the right of Petrillo. Out of the gun, takes the snap, looks left. Now we'll try to roll. Gets a block from Lowry. Throws it along the sideline and out of bounds. Incomplete. Nobody there. Chich just threw that away.
Pass is incomplete, but there's a flag on the play.
Then we get a flag down, though.
Holding against North Brunswick.
Holding against North Brunswick. I would imagine that Edison would decline this.
The holding penalty will be declined.
And yes, it is. So now 4th down.
Result in a 4th down and 14
4th and 14 for the Raiders from their own 47-yard line. Aaron R. will have to punt. Camille Pryor standing at his own 29 for the Eagles. R will punt. R standing at his own 35. 7.5 to go in the 4th. And so we have a stalemate here at 26-21. Raiders lead it. R will punt. Gets the snap. And gets it away barely. A high kick. Pryor will call for the fair catch at the 23.
So R's punt is fielded by Pryor at the 23-yard line.
And so Edison will have it. First down and 10 from their own 23-yard line.
Brunswick 26, Edison 21.
And so again, it's gone back and forth here. So we'll see if the Raiders defense has another stop left in them. It's been bend but don't break tonight. First and 10, Edison from the 23-yard line. Dean Escobar. We have Tyler Montfort to his right. Out of the shotgun, Escobar takes the snap and going up the middle. Oh, ball, loose, fumble. Do the Raiders have it? No. Noah Stansbury came up with it.
Number 2, Josiah Smith-Velez on the carry.
Josiah Velez on a bit of a jet sweep there through the middle. Had the ball poked loose on the way. But Stansbury recovers it. So a 9-yard gain makes it 2nd and 1 from the 32. 6:50 to go in the 4th. Montfort to the left of Escobar. Going in motion is Pryor out of the shotgun. Hands off to Pryor. Goes up the middle. Looks like he has a first down. Ball loose. Fumble. This time the Raiders have it. The Raiders do have it this time. Sean Brahini. Brahini comes up with the fumble.
5 for Edison. Camille Pryor on the run. Fumbled and recovered by North Brunswick.
Sean Brahini.
The Raiders will take over at the Edison 34-yard line.
Edison's 4th turnover of the night. And North Brunswick will have it 1st and 10 from the Eagles' 34-yard line. They tried to give it to Pryor coming in motion. But now the Raiders with a chance. Maybe to put it away. 2 wide receivers right. Petrillo out of the gun. Bailey to his left. Chich takes another low snap. Hands off to Bailey straight up the middle. Crosses the 30. And dragging men with him across the 25.
Miles Bailey on the carry up the middle.
And so Bailey getting good yardage there.
Tackled by host Eagles, but good for North Brunswick first down.
And so the ball. Oh, wait, we got a flag. Oh, this is against the Raiders, and it's coming back. Some type of motion penalty, it looks like. DeAndre Webb had made the tackle for Edison, but this is going to come back.
So it seems like North Brunswick made some type of infraction before the play.
Yeah, an illegal procedure, false start. But
We'll repeat first down.
why wouldn't they just blow it dead on the snap?
First down and 15.
But either way, 1st and 15 from the 39. So I don't know why they would just let the play run. But 1st and 15 from the 39 now with 6:33 to go in the 4th. Split backfield, 2 wides to the right for Chich. Bailey to the left, Outlaw to the right. Petrillo working out of the gun, takes a low snap and hands off to Bailey. He runs right, crosses the 40, 35, still going to the 33. And number 62 for Edison is, Wyatt Buchani. And so ball is at the 33. Gain of 6. 2nd down and 9. And the Raiders will try to keep that clock moving. 2nd and 9 from the 33. Petrillo out of the gun here. with Bailey to his right. 5:55 to go in the fourth. Raiders lead 26-21. 2 wide receivers left. Petrillo calling signals. Hands out. Takes the snap. And hands off. And this is Bailey going up. Check that. That is Bailey. That is Bailey.
For 3 yards and be a 3rd down and 5 for the Raiders.
And so
From the Edison 30-yard line.
Bailey to the 30, gain of 3, 3rd and 6 from the 30, with 5:21 to go in the fourth. So a big 3rd down here. Bailey to the left of Petrillo, 3 receivers bunched right. Lowry wide to the left. Petrillo letting some time run. And now we get a whistle. Timeout, North Brunswick. And so the Raiders take their first timeout of the second half. 5:03 remains in the fourth. North Brunswick 26, Edison 21. We will break, and we will come back in a moment with Raiders football on the King James Radio Network.
This is the King James Radio Network, your radio home for North Brunswick Raiders sports. Restoration Place, Timothy Christian Tigers basketball, the Cal Ripken Baseball District Championships, the Ladies of Our Turf football, and the Jersey Basketball Association.
3rd and 6 from the 30-yard line of Edison for the North Brunswick Raiders. Low snap to Petrillo out of the gun. Takes it, rolling left, throws it, deep ball, left side, end zone. And is it along the sideline? Is it caught? No, is it intercepted? Camille Pryor has the football, but it is ruled incomplete. Brandon Outlaw was the intended receiver. It was Outlaw and Pryor one-on-one in the left corner of the end zone. Pryor came up with the football, but the throw sailed out of bounds. And so the Raiders can breathe a little bit easier here. 4th and 6, though, from the Edison 30, with 4:52 remaining in the fourth. Both teams have turned the ball over. Edison has 4 turnovers. Split backfield. Petrillo looks back at the clock, takes the snap, and fakes the handoff, and breaks one tackle, trying to go up the middle. And he's going to be stopped well short of the first down, and the Raiders will turn it over on downs.
The entire Edison defense holding strong on 4th down and 5, and it's a turnover on down.
Petrillo tackled back at the line of scrimmage, and Edison will take over.
Down by 5 points.
The good news is for the Raiders, they have kept Edison at bay for most of the second half, except for that opening drive. The bad news is the Raiders haven't been able to put the game away. They've left Edison hanging around here. 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. And Escobar has shown that he can find Orion Gilliam, who's wide to the left, for 2 touchdown passes tonight. Montfort to the right. Coming in motion to the far side. Is out of the shotgun and handoff. This is Montfort. And really no gain there. Into the Raider line. I'll say Velez in motion.
Run is good for no gain. 2nd down and 10.
So no gain for Montfort. 2nd down and 10. From the 30, Edison has all 3 of their timeouts. 4:15 remains in the fourth. 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side. Montfort is behind Escobar. Out of the shotgun, takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Montfort. Looking, throws it left, and too high, incomplete. Intended for Velez.
Dean Escobar's pass intended for number 2, Josiah Velez.
Chris Arnold on the coverage for the Raiders.
10 for the Eagles with 4 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the game.
So that brings us to 3rd and 10 for Edison from their own 30-yard line. Again, glad you're with us at jamesisking.com. And so 3rd and 10 Edison from the 30. Montfort to the right. Escobar hands out of the gun, takes the snap, looks, throws it right side, and off the hands of Stansbury, incomplete.
Intended for number 11, Noah Stansbury.
Brandon Outlaw on the coverage. For the Raiders.
Brandon Outlaw on the coverage for North Brunswick.
That will bring up 4th and 10.
For Edison as they send on their punt team.
And Edison will punt here and hold on to their timeouts. So Juan Lukumi will punt. He stands at the Edison 16. Back deep for the Raiders is Miles Bailey. He's at his own 39. 4:01 remaining in the fourth quarter. North Brunswick 26, Edison 21. Lukumi will punt this away. A line drive kick. Bailey gave the fair catch signal but never moved. The ball takes a Edison bounce all the way down inside the 25 to about the 22. So a line drive kick for Lukumi. So with 3:46 remaining here in the fourth quarter, the Raiders trying to hang on to a 26-21 lead. So yeah, it looks like they'll spot this at the 22. So the Raiders have to keep the ball moving. They can't run out the clock here. Edison has all 3 of their timeouts. The Raiders looking for their second straight win over the Eagles. 1st and 10 from the 21. Christian Petrillo out of the shotgun. Miles Bailey now flanks to his right. Petrillo takes the snap. Hands off to Bailey and gets a couple of yards up the middle. That's about it. To about the 24, maybe the 25.
Miles Bailey on the carry. There's a timeout
So,
on the field, and it is Edison's first charge time.
and it looks like Matt Fulham will now start to use his timeouts. So the Eagles will call time. Ball looks like it's at the 24.
It'll be 2nd down and 8 for the Raiders.
So a gain of 2 for Bailey. 2nd down and 8 from the North Brunswick 24 with 3:41 remaining in the fourth. And again, North Brunswick 26, Edison 21. The Raiders will head to Monroe next week. Meanwhile, Edison, they go on the road to face Woodbridge, who's given Sayreville a run for their money. So off the timeout, Edison has 2 remaining, as well as the Raiders with 3:41 to go. So Chris Arnold and Miles Bailey in that backfield have gotten the Raiders this far, along with Christian Petrillo. 2nd and 8 from the North Brunswick 24. 3 receivers bunched right. Petrillo looking for his play call. Bailey and Arnold in the backfield. Petrillo wants the right personnel in there. Brandon Outlaw checks in. And now a house formation around Petrillo on 2nd and 8. Petrillo out of the gun, takes the snap, hands off. This is Bailey, and he's going to be tackled in the backfield.
Miles Bailey on carry, brought down in the backfield by number 2, Josiah.
So Velez on the tackle.
Velez. It'll bring up 3rd down for the Raiders.
So 3rd down now, a crucial spot.
2 on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 10 for the Raiders. The clock running.
Ball back at the 22, it looks like. So back to the original line of scrimmage. 3rd and 10 Raiders from their own 22. Clock runs. Edison won't use a timeout yet. 3:03 to go here in the fourth. House formation around Petrillo on 3rd and 10. Bailey is the deep back. Looks like the Raiders are inclined to keep it on the ground here. Nope, actually Chich will roll out. Rolling left, looking. He's going to run and comes to the near side. Vega and Bell making the tackle, a suplex basically on Chich near the 30-yard line. And Edison will call a timeout.
It'll be 4th down for the Raiders.
And so not enough for a first down. Petrillo was able to get something, but not enough. And so timeout Edison, their second one. They have 1 remaining. Ball is spotted, looks like at the 27-yard line. So a gain of 5 for Chich on 3rd and 10. But it'll be 4th and 5. So we'll see. I would imagine they would punt here, deep in their own end. So a very important punt for Aaron R. right here. You want to get some mileage out of this one. Camille Pryor will head back deep for the Eagles. Edison could go for the block here if they wanted to. Aaron R. back at his own 15. 4th down and 8. From the 26. R at his own 15. Pryor at his own 41 for the Eagles. R takes the snap and gets it away. A good kick. This is a high one. Pryor will catch it at the 31. Drops it. Rolls to the near side. Picks it up at the 32. Dances to the 35. And is tackled there.
Number 5, Camille Pryor, fields the punt.
So the ball was dropped, but Pryor able to recover it. Mike Gonzalez on the tackle for the Raiders, number 57. And so possibly the last chance for the Eagles with 2:26 remaining in the 4th. 1st down and 10, Edison. From their own 35-yard line. The Eagles have 1 timeout remaining. And Dean Escobar with Tyler Montfort to his left. Working out of the shotgun. Takes the snap. Looks right, now looks left. Throws it left. And intercepted! Intercepted! 30! And tackled at the 35-yard line.
Intercepted by the Raiders.
I believe that was Tyler Jordan. Tyler Jordan on the pick. Interception number 4 for the Raiders tonight. 5th turnover for the Eagles.
And they will take over 1st and 10 North Brunswick from the Eagle 27-yard line.
And now the Raiders with a chance to put it away. Edison does have a timeout with 2:17 to go. 1st and 10. House formation around Petrillo. Low snap again. This time it was picked up before it got to Petrillo.
Snap picked up by a Raider and then tackled in the backfield.
Let's see. I'm trying to see who picked that up. Chris Arnold picked it up. And so ball is at the 29. 1:50 to go in the 4th. Loss of about 2. So 2nd down and 12 with 1:40 to go. And again, Edison down to 1 timeout. 2 receivers right, split backfield. And Petrillo out of the gun, takes the snap, hands off to Bailey, runs right, breaks the tackle, cuts it back inside towards the sideline, gets to the 20, out of bounds inside the 20. Velez knocks him out.
Pushed out of bounds by the Eagles secondary.
Close to a 1st down, but not quite.
It'll be 3rd down and 3 for North Brunswick. 3rd down and 3.
They'll spot this at the 20-yard line. So a gain of 9. It'll be 3rd down and 3. So this could be it right here with 1:22 to go in the 4th. North Brunswick 26, Edison 21. 3rd and 3 for the Raiders from the Edison 20. Split backfield for Petrillo. Out of the shotgun, low snap, picks it up. Petrillo on the run, coming to the near side, stiff arms a man. 25, 20, 15, 10, 1st down. Forced out of bounds at the 7. And that could do it.
Breaks a tackle and brings it all the way to the
Looked like Vega forced him out. Christian Petrillo doing what he does best, making something out of nothing. That is classic Chich right there. Just making something out of nothing. And Petrillo could have very well sealed this one for the Raiders. With 1:15 to go. Edison does have a timeout. Bittersweet for Mark Blevins. That's his starting center fielder right there. Of course, Chich going to Southern New Hampshire to play baseball next year. Looks like we get a timeout. So timeout is called. Ball, it will be first and goal. Looks like first and goal from the 8-yard line.
15.
So a gain of 12 for Petrillo on 3rd and 3. Another big third down run for Chich. We talked about it in the pregame. We talked about the offensive line giving Chich room to run or throw, but giving him room to run, especially on third down. Go back and listen to the tape. Especially on third down, giving Chich room to run is a big key. You saw it right there on that play. Chich just finds a way to make things happen, especially on third down. And as long as he's got the time to do it, he does. So first and goal from the 8 with 1:14 to go in the fourth. We'll see what the Raiders do here. The ball is lined up on the left hash, and it looks like they're going to try to run it out. Edison does have a timeout. Victory formation for Petrillo. So victory formation surrounded here. And Petrillo will step back and take a knee.
So Petrillo takes a snap, takes a knee. And we have timeout Edison on the field.
And Edison will use their final timeout. And so Matt Fulham will use his final timeout. Basically, I think, well, you basically use it or lose it. So why not? Ball is back at the 10-yard line, so technically a loss of 2. Second and goal from the 10 with 1:09 left. So Petrillo would have to snap it 2 more times to end the game. If that happens, the Raiders will go to 2-1. Edison will drop to 1-1. So again, victory formation for Petrillo. And he will take a knee. And it will be third and goal from the 12. So it's third down, so the Raiders still have 2 plays left. They only need 1 with 51 seconds to go. And so coming off of that 34-14 loss to Sayreville, oh, I see Raider Nation has the Fireflies out over on the far side. That's some Bray Wyatt looking stuff over there. At first it was the yes chants in the St. Joe's game, and now the Bray Wyatt with the Fireflies. But Petrillo will take one more knee with 25 seconds, and that should do it. And so the Raiders bounce back from the loss to Sayreville with a 26-21 win on the road in Edison at the Eagles' Nest. With 5 seconds to go, the Raiders and Eagles will line up as the clock hits 0, and this game is over.
Thank you very much for coming out tonight.
The North Brunswick Raiders go to 2-1 on the season with a 26-21 win over the Edison Eagles. And it started really in the backfield with Miles Bailey and primarily Chris Arnold in the first half. You know, Arnold, I said throughout the course of this game, Chris Arnold is a beast. And you saw that on full display tonight. By the way, my thanks to Jeff DeCoco, the athletic director here at Edison. And, of course, Ben Abeni, Mark Blevins. I feel like I know half the people here, you know. But as far as the game, like I said, you know, Chris Arnold saw a lot more touches tonight and really paid off for North Brunswick here, along with Miles Bailey. Arnold on the night, Christian Petrillo had a touchdown. Chris Arnold had a touchdown. Miles Bailey had a touchdown, and Tyree Geaston with his first varsity touchdown tonight. A nice catch in the back of the end zone. And so, you know, with that, the Raiders go to 2-1, and Edison drops to 1-1. Edison will go to Woodbridge next week. The Raiders will head to Monroe. And so again, my thanks to the folks up here in the press box. My thanks to, I assume that was the principal that handed me this burger here. Yes, all right. Yes. So my thanks to him. I'll be eating this on the way home. But next week, now it's on to Monroe. I'm sure Mike Sipart will talk about that 10 minutes after this one. It's on to Monroe. But aside from Bailey and Arnold, we mentioned the touchdown pass to Tyree Geaston. The Raiders, take it easy. The Raiders forcing 5 Edison turnovers, including 4 interceptions. And the Raiders winning the turnover battle. First time this year that the Raiders win the turnover battle and also win the game. So you're winning the turnover battle and winning the game, obviously very important. And, as you look at this game, forcing 5 turnovers, getting to the quarterback, getting to Dean Escobar a little bit, putting some pressure on him, and the Raiders were able to do that very effectively tonight. So, with that being said, North Brunswick again improves to 2-1, and their divisional play will continue next week at Monroe against the Falcons. And so, our next broadcast of North Brunswick Raiders football on the King James Radio Network will be 1 week from tonight, next Friday night, September the 21st, when the Raiders will head to Monroe to take on the Monroe Falcons. Game time is at 7 p.m. Eastern. Raiders Live pregame presented by the Cal team at RE/MAX Country will begin at 6:30. My thanks to Raiders head football coach Mike Sipart for being on in the pregame. My thanks to, I was going to have Rami Berberino on, but he was injured, as you heard, so we had to switch gears and go to Samad Wingo. My thanks to Samad Wingo for joining us in the pregame, and my thanks to Joe DePayne, one of the coaches for North Brunswick, who has been around 28 years. We talked to him at halftime, and so my thanks to Mr. DePayne as well. All right, so we will talk to you next Friday night from Monroe. Until then, this is Corbett Thompson saying goodbye, Godspeed. We thank you for listening to this edition of North Brunswick Raiders football, presented by the North Brunswick Baseball and Softball Association and Route 1 Dental on the King James Radio Network. Your final score from the Eagles Nest in Edison, New Jersey, the North Brunswick Raiders 26, the Edison Eagles 21. You folks have a good night.